On a windy day in downtown Amarillo and the playoffs near in sight, we bring you inside the Budweiser Bull Pen for a big matchup between the Amarillo Wranglers and the El Paso Rhinos. Hi everybody, Chiarenza here from the bullpen, and this is a big matchup with big playoff implications. But before we talk about all that, it's the Wranglers and the Rhinos meeting for the third straight time. Last weekend, we were in Rhino country. Tonight, we're here in downtown Amarillo for the fifth meeting of the season between the Wranglers and the Rhinos. Now, the Rhinos are typically an opponent that the Wranglers have fared well against. Amarillo leads the all-time series with a record of 18-1-1. But this season is a different Rhinos squad. They're led by head coach Joe Coombs, and he's got his team off and running with a record of 28-11-2-2, good enough for third place in the South Division with 60 points on the season. Now the Wranglers enter the matchup with a record of 24-14-5-2, fourth place in the South Division, nipping on the Rhinos' heels with 55 points on the season. This is a first game of a two-game set here at the bullpen. These teams will meet two more times after this on the penultimate weekend of the regular season. So there's still a couple games left between these two teams on the year. But if the Wranglers were to sweep the Rhinos here this weekend, they pull within 1 point of El Paso, seeing that they win all those games in regulation. So the playoff race is heating up. Wranglers have 15 games to go, including tonight. The Rhinos, 17. Last time out, it was El Paso getting the victory 3-0 as Michael Manzi picked up the shutout. Torrey Lund had a goal and 1 assist for the Rhinos. He is currently on a 5-game point streak, 2 goals and 5 assists in that span. Defenseman Paso Hiltonen had himself a game with 2 assists. He has 1 goal and 6 assists in his last 5 games. And of course, the aforementioned Michael Manzi stopped 17 of 17 for his second shutout of the season. For the Wranglers, it was Connor McDonough in the goal for that Saturday game. He stopped 17 of 20 in the loss. The shutout was just the third time that the Wranglers have been held off the score sheet this season. They'll look to bounce back here tonight. And you got to think the special teams department might play a big factor in how this game goes. As on Friday, in the Wranglers' 4-1 victory over the Rhinos, they went for 3 for 5 on the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. On Saturday, it was the Rhinos that won the special teams battle. They also won that game. Rhinos went 2 for 4 on the power play, and they were perfect on their penalty kill, stopping all 3 Wrangler chances. So that brings us to our keys of the game, brought to you by Street Toyota. Talked about the special teams battle. If you're the Wranglers, you got to win it. They're top 10 in both power play and penalty kill throughout the entire league on the season. Going to need those units to come up clutch here tonight. They also need to find a way to contain the Rhinos' top playmakers. I'm looking at Frank Tefelsky wearing number 11, number 12, Torrey Lund, and number 19, Mendrick Bolduc. All are bona fide goal scorers for the Rhinos. Wranglers need to find a way to shut them down. And on the flip side, the Wranglers' big guns need to show out here tonight. I'm looking at that first and second line. Wranglers are going to need them to produce here tonight if they want a chance to win. So that takes us to our starting lineups. We'll start with the visiting El Paso Rhinos. The Rhinos will send out their third line to begin the game. On left wing, it's number 8, A.J. Reed. Reed stands at 6'1", 200 pounds. The 19-year-old play at left wing for the Rhinos here tonight. And down the middle, it's going to be number 23, Bradley Walker. Walker in his rookie season stands at 6'1", 195 pounds. He's also 19 years old, just like A.J. Reed. And Walker on the season has 6 goals and 10 assists for 16 points in 42 games. And to his right, it's going to be number 28, Eddie Shepler, who had a goal in Saturday's game. Shepler stands at 5'11", 185 pounds. The 20-year-old, or soon-to-be 20-year-old, his birthday's on the 25th of February, will get the start at right wing for El Paso. On the blue line, number 18, Alexander Pellerine, standing at 5'11", 190 pounds. 19-year-old defenseman will be paired up with number 3, Tristan Zarski. Zarski was acquired at the trade deadline from the Austin Bruins by the Rhinos. Zarski stands at 6'3", 209 pounds, and he'll be playing in his third game as a Rhino here tonight. And in goal, coming off of the 17-save shutout, it's going to be number 1, Michael Manzi. Stands at 6'1", 190 pounds. They'll look to get the victory net for the Rhinos here tonight. And for the Wranglers, they'll send out that money line, which if the Wranglers want to win this game, they're going to need them to produce. It's that first forward line of number 93, Jack McDonald on left wing. Number 4, Ben Ivy down the middle. And number 6, Jack Ivy at right wing. Jack McDonald stands at 6'1", 185 pounds, the native of East Aurora, New York. Is having a stellar season, as McDonald has 9 goals and 26 assists for 35 points in 45 games. He has 7 goals and 13 assists in his last 19. Number 4, Ben Ivy down the middle, as he will be paired up with his twin brother, number 6, Jack Ivy at right wing. Wranglers looking for a spark from the Ivy brothers. Ben on the season has 10 goals and 22 assists for 32 points in 43 games. Jack Ivy, one of the league leaders in goals, 26 goals, 14 assists, 40 points in 43 games on the season. He's tied for the team lead in points with Roman Zapp coming into play here tonight. On the blue line for the Wranglers, number 3, Nick Troutwine will play at left defense. Troutwine stands at 6'3", 210 pounds. He's a native of Evelyn, Minnesota, and was once in a Rhino uniform not too long ago. Last season, Troutwine was playing with El Paso. He had 2 assists in 33 games in a Rhino uniform. And to his right, number 19, standout defenseman Nolan Gagnon, standing at 5'10", 175 pounds, the right shot defenseman from Metcalfe, Canada, who has been excellent in his rookie season with the Wranglers. Will to provide some offense production on the back end, as Gagnon has 7 goals and 25 assists for 32 points in 43 games. He leads Wranglers defensemen in goals and assists and points as well. Gagnon was named the League Defenseman of the Month for the month of January. And in goal, it's going to be number 1, Connor McDonough. Wears number 1 on his jersey. He's number 1 in our hearts. Stands at 6'5", 210 pounds. The native of Mendham, New Jersey, will make his 7th straight start here tonight. As McDonough has a record of 20-11, 4-2 on the season. This will be appearance number 38 for him. He's a 2.29 goals against average, a .910 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the season when he blanked the Mudbugs in this building on the first weekend of November. Wranglers are led by head coach Ryan Anderson and assistant coach Connor Yanni. Notable inactives for the Wranglers here tonight: Roman Zapp will not be playing here tonight. He's out due to illness. Connor McNaughton will slot into that second line center role. Grayson Gerhardt, fresh off of his 2-game suspension, move in and play at right wing wearing number 18. Topi Pukkanen remains at left wing. Magnus Gadowski will make his Wranglers debut. He was acquired at the trade deadline from the Maryland Black Bears. He'll wear number 14. He'll be on the right wing position on the third line with Elias Abrants and Luke Morris. And on the fourth line, Trace Day will be playing at left wing wearing number 44. Number 9, Jacob Miller down the middle. And on the right wing, newcomer Victor Budik, who's formerly of the Wisconsin Woodsmen of 3HL, will round out the forward lines for the Wranglers. Morley Phillips has been suspended 3 games. He will not be playing here this weekend. So the Wranglers look to make do with what they have. Coming up next, the national anthem, and we come back. First period puck drop from the bullpen. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Roll up that red carpet because we are all set and ready to go. From the Budweiser Bull Pen, it's the Wranglers and the Rhinos on a Friday night. Wranglers wearing their first responders uniforms will be wearing those tonight and tomorrow. It's a black jersey, some blue and red mixed in, black numbers, white outline, white name bar. It's a good look, man. That is a great looking jersey. Shot the jersey reveal a couple weeks ago. Gonna be up for auction tomorrow. Sharp look for the Wranglers here on home ice. For the Rhinos, this is their first visit to this building this season, so we'll get to see them in their white jerseys with orange accents, orange numbers, and orange lettering. Rhinos will skate from left to right, Wranglers from right to left as you see it on NATV. And here on YouTube, we're going to try and paint you a picture for our audio stream. Ben Ivy will lean in to take the draw against Bradley Walker, and away we go from Amarillo. Puck bounces back to Troutwine off the draw. Go D to D for Gagnon. He'll glance it off the stick of McDonald, and in it goes to the Rhinos zone. On the near side, Shepler will force it out to the neutral zone. Rhinos with a burst of speed enter the Wranglers zone. It's Bradley Walker there. He gets his pocket picked. Rhinos are forced to restart from their own zone. Pellerine will swing it up to the left wing. Looks like he was looking for Arias, but instead the Rhinos have iced the puck 31 seconds into the contest. Shaping up to be a good matchup here at the bullpen, so pull up a chair, get comfortable, get some snacks. If you haven't already eaten some dinner, get a beverage of your choice and sit back and enjoy some hockey with us. Happy to have you here on the Wranglers Hockey Network. The draw will be on the far circle of the Wranglers zone. McNaughton wins it, gets it back to Kruklitis, who banks it off the wall to DeMarco, and the Wranglers will exit their own zone. In fact, the puck will go all the way down, no icing, as James Hooley will get there for El Paso, send it down the distance, and that will be an icing. So a couple quick whistles off the bat. 19-13 to go in the first period. We're still settling in here, so we still have some fans filing into the crowd as well. For the Wranglers, that first line still out there. Ben Ivy, Jack Ivy, and Jack McDonald. Draw will be on the near circle of the El Paso zone to the right of Michael Manzi. Ivy wins the draw against Torrey Lund. Wranglers forced between the circles. Rhino is quick to sniff it out, send it to the far corner. McDonald is there. Has to work his way around the Rhino defense. Gets it up top for DeMarco, and now back down low for McDonald. It goes around the net. Defending him is Paavo Hiltonen. Puck squeaks off of McDonald's stick and into the far corner. On the forecheck, Jack Ivy looking to get it back. Forces Woodley to make a decision, turns it over. At the left circle, McDonald can't get a grasp on it. And now he does, sends it below the circle looking for Ben Ivy. But Hiltonen is there to break it up and send it to the line. Bouncing puck, Wranglers twist it towards Manzi. And that line will go off for a change. Down below the goal line, Ben Ivy still out there as his line mates have already gone off. Second line comes on, gets it up to the left point. Puck will go around to the far side wall. As Semenyuk finds McNaughton at the right point. He takes a shot and it's blocked by Arias. Puck rolls over towards the near side. A couple bodies converge. Rhinos are able to lift it out to center. Takes a couple bounces and moves into Wrangler territory. 18:04 to go in the first period. The first two shots of the game belong to the Wranglers. Down the right wing, Godowski, in his first shift as a Wrangler, burrows his way into the attacking zone. At the line, Wranglers hold on to the puck, send it down low as Abrant gets crunched in the far corner. Wranglers doing a nice job on the forecheck so far early on in the game as Gerhard moves it up to the left point for a shot that goes off the wall. Troutwine was the one who took that. And on the far half wall, they joust. Puck comes to Abrant. He'll turn and shoot, and Michael Manzi will gobble that one up and stop the clock with 17:28 to go in the first period. So third line comes off, fourth line comes on. So this will be Victor Budik's first shift as an Amarillo Wrangler. For Budik, he had 7 goals and 30 assists in 40 games of for the 3HL's Wisconsin Woodsman earlier on in the campaign. So I'm excited to see what he can do in a Wrangler uniform. As play moves towards the left point, Wranglers trying to drive down that left wing wall, but the Rhinos are able to get it back out to center, but a thunderous hit by Gagnon on LaBelle. Gets the puck back in possession for the Wranglers. Down the left wing, Miller takes a shot, and it goes off a stick and out of play. A lot of whistles to begin this game. That shot from Miller went off the stick of Pellerin and into the protective netting. And I like that look there from Jacob Miller. No harm in shooting the puck, especially when you're coming off of a shutout on the road. The best thing you can do is just take shots. And the first four of the game belong to the Wranglers. Draw it to the right of Manzi, near circle of the Rhino zone. Wranglers win the draw as Morris gets it to the left point for a shot by Kruklides. It's off the mark. The momentum carries it back out to the neutral zone. Kruklides glances it off the stick of Morris. He'll work his way in deep. Rhinos trying to get out of their own zone as Strickland moves it to the neutral zone. Rhinos enter as down the right wing they go. Wranglers force it off the stick and into the far half wall. A.J. Reed looking to get it back for El Paso. Puck comes free to Abrant, and the Wranglers offense looks to get to work. As on the forecheck is Gadowski. Rhinos pick up the loose puck on the opposite side. And now down the right wing goes Shepler. He'll take a shot off the stick of McRoberts, who's dressing as the 7th defenseman here tonight. And now the Wranglers will turn back up ice. Torrey Lund will swing out from behind his own net to the right wing. A couple quick passes, and the Rhinos and knock it into the Wranglers zone. McRoberts is able to play it back out to center, where the Rhinos just hack it in deep. On the near side, McDonald swats it out to the line, but not out. Rhinos try and shoot it towards the net. Goes back to the tape of McDonald. And move it to the left wing for Jack Ivey. He'll fire, and a save made by the blocker of Manzi. El Paso picks up that rebound. Looks to get to work as Torrey Lund will weasel his way into the attacking zone. See that his line mates are getting a change. Now he'll head towards the bench as well as the Wranglers get it back out to center. 15:35 to go in the first period. Rhinos have just iced the puck again. And so it'll be another offensive zone draw for the Wranglers. Looks like that second line is going to be the ones out there for this next draw. Connor McNaughton playing center once more. He started the season as a center. And then after a couple trades were made, moved to right wing. And now in the absence of Roman Zapp, he's back at center. He wins the draw up to the line. Gagnon drifts towards his right. Gets crunched along the boards by Carson Triggs, the former Brown Bear. And now he'll get to work in the attacking zone as he button hooks on the near circle, and not much more as the Wranglers get a steal. Down the left wing, Pukkanen finds a trailer in McNaughton, and he just can't corral the puck in time to get the shot away. Play goes behind Manzi. Rhino's able to pick it up. Luke Lindsay turns it over, and a shot there from McNaughton goes wide of the mark. Wranglers being aggressive to begin the game. It seems to be paying dividends so far. They're still looking for the game's first goal. Cameron moves in and shoots. Screeches by the ear of McDonough. Momentum carries the puck back out to the neutral zone. Rhinos still yet to have a shot on goal. We're a little over 5 minutes into the game. Elias Abrant looks to set up shop offensively. Gets pinned up on the near side boards. Wranglers are able to chop the puck down low behind Manzi. Rhinos again struggling to clear the puck out. With a little extra help they do. Former Wrangler Ryan Ginger will work his way into the attacking zone. Go corner to corner for LaBelle. He can't handle that puck. Wranglers will step in and get it back out to the neutral zone. Rhinos quickly fire it towards McDonough. And now DeMarco will take charge. Wait to find an avenue behind his own net. Rhinos from center ice. Again, have trouble playing the puck. LaBelle seemed like that puck had other ideas whenever it was near him. He couldn't possess it. Ends up being an icing on the Rhinos with 13:55 to go in the first period. And the Rhinos have been credited with a shot on goal, but it was more of just a dump in that found its way to McDonough from center ice. Not much of a grade A scoring chance. So far, Wranglers are off on the right foot. Draw on the near circle. Rhinos win that. Tristan Zarski, the former Shreveport Mudbug, and Austin Bruin will fire into the Wranglers zone. And guess what? That's another icing on the Rhinos with 13:47 to go in the first period. First line out there for Amarillo. This draw is going to be on the far circle of the Rhinos zone. Jack Ivey will be the face-off taker. Puck will be swatted towards the end wall. Zarski, the first man on it. He will bounce it to the neutral zone, takes a couple hops, and you guessed it, another icing. So we'll go all the way back to the Rhino zone for another draw with 13:39 to go in the first period. We talked about in the pregame show how critical that first goal of the game may be. Well, I mean, the stats speak for themselves. The Wranglers, when they score first, 14-1-1. When the Rhinos score first, 21-1, 0-1. So both teams are dominant when they score the first goal. You got to think whoever scores that first one is going to have a big upper hand here tonight. As the Rhinos get the puck out to center, Troutwine gains the red line. He'll rim it all the way around towards the near side. Will be picked up on the backhand of Zarski. Looks to go D to D. Lurking in the area was Trace Day. Wranglers on the forecheck get the puck back. They'll swing it around towards the far corner. Rhinos see the puck pop off a stick and into their own bench. Another whistle with 13:16 to go in period number 1. Looks like the second line will step on out there for the Wranglers. Topi Pukkanen, who had an amazing time at the Top Prospect Showcase a couple weeks ago, had a goal in the second game. He's been a workhorse for the Wranglers this season. 18 goals, 20 assists, 38 points. This is game 46 for him on the season. He's one of the Wranglers' Iron Men, playing in every single game this season. As the draw is won, Wranglers get it up to the line. Now Gerhard, trying to battle and keep the puck in the Wranglers' possession at the half wall, is able to chip it down low. Pukkanen is there. Play rolls along towards the far corner. Arm is raised, and we are going to have our first penalty of the game. A little over 7 minutes into the contest. And so it belongs to the Rhinos. The guilty party is Paavo Hiltonen. Wranglers power play will set up shop for the first time here tonight. It's 2 minutes for cross-checking. And the third best power play in the league will get to work. Wranglers power play operating at 22.7%. Rhino penalty kill, one of their weaker points, 80.26%, 24th in the league. Off the draw, play goes below the goal line onto the stick of Ben Ivey. Center point, Jack Ivey rips it, and a save is made off the shin of Zarski. He blocks it and gets it back out the center, and the Rhinos will send it down the length of the ice. And aggressive on the forecheck shorthanded is Eddie Schepler. Wranglers pry it from his grasp and roll back out the center. As down the right wing goes McDonald. He's into attacking territory, and now in the far corner, bouncing puck. Wranglers can't settle it down. Pellerine will get it on his stick, send it down the distance, and he gets the deed done. It's a Rhino clear with 1:23 remaining on the Wrangler power play. Starting the next charge is Nolan Gagnon, but pressuring him aggressively was A.J. Reed. Forces him to rethink things as he drops it back in the neutral zone for Jack Ivey. Galloping down the right wing. Will rip it all the way around to the near side wall. Wranglers go D-to-D at the line. Gagnon to the middle. Pukkanen for Jack Ivey, and he has it roll off his stick. Can't get the shot up between the circles. As up top, Ben Ivey settles it down. Drifts down the left wing. Finds Gagnon at the line. Fakes a shot to the left side. Jack Ivey goes down low off the end wall for McDonald. Tries to stash it in. But Manzi stood tall, and the Rhinos were able to force it back out the center. 37 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power play. 11:30 to go in the first period. DeMarco moves it to the left wing as the second power play unit steps on. Troutwine pinching down low, unable to hold it, as the Rhinos are able to backhand it back out the center. A little over 15 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power play. Maybe one last gasp here if they hurry. As DeMarco Finds Troutwine streaking through center ice. He'll whip it all the way around towards the near side. Wranglers reverse it and send it back Troutwine's way. But he had already gotten back in defensive position, and that is how the power play ends. So the Wranglers start 0 for 1. Rhinos get the kill. Under 11 minutes to go in the first period. Wranglers hoist it into the El Paso zone. Puck takes a couple hops, and it's onto the stick of Zarski. You'll find a man moving forward. Is down the right wing. Oh, it's Frank Defelski. He'll take a shot and a kick save by the right pad of McDonough. Goes onto the stick of Ben Ivey. Finds McDonald in stride. Tries to dance his way around, and he does. Looks to go across to the left wing for McRoberts. But a defensive stick gets in the way of that and sends the puck out of play. And what a heck of a shift there for Jack McDonald. What a move there. Nice little spin move after gaining a ton of speed in the neutral zone. He's able to bounce away from a defender. And the pass just couldn't connect with McRoberts, but if it had, it's a pretty good look offensively for the Wranglers. Shot count still 6-1 with 10:29 to go in the first. We're still scoreless here in downtown Amarillo. Draw will be to the right of Manzi, near circle. McNaughton, the face-off taker once more. Draw is won by the Rhinos, as they'll quickly force it out to center. Puck takes a couple bounces. Semenyuk move it back out to the neutral zone. Rhinos drive it in deeper. It's an open space. McRoberts banks it off the near side boards into the Rhinos zone. Teams exchanging possession here at about the midway point of the first period. Is on the entry. It's Carson Triggs. Looks to go across, and the pass is intercepted by McNaughton. But the Rhinos keep possession as they go corner to corner. Now a battle for it on the far side wall. Wranglers will escape with the puck as Gerhardt in the neutral zone slides it into Rhino territory. Wranglers are able to get a partial change as Magnus Gadowski on the forecheck. In his first game as the Wranglers, looks to stymie the Rhinos before they enter the Wranglers zone. El Paso is able to drop it in deep. Wranglers are able to touch the puck back out to center. As down the right wing is Abrant. Does a nice job of burrowing his way into the attacking zone. Abrant doing himself. Looks to center it. Bouncing puck just went astray from Luke Morris, who was waiting between the circles. As the Rhinos get it back out into the Wranglers zone. Elias Abrant looks to find Morris in stride. The exchange. Abrant, left circle shot, and a save made by Manzi. Goes right into his breadbasket. He holds and covers with 9:09 to go in the first period. Scoreless game so far, but an exciting affair. We're still looking for the first goal in this one. We'll be back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network, on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Magnus Gadowski with a couple of shifts in a Wrangler uniform under his belt. I'm excited to see what he can do. Gadowski was acquired from the Maryland Black Bears for a third-round pick at the trade deadline. He's a vocal leader in that locker room. I'm excited to see what he brings to this Wranglers lineup. Gadowski this season had 4 goals and 3 assists in 28 games with the Black Bears, as he's playing in his Wranglers debut here tonight. Meanwhile, fourth line out there for the Wranglers. Another guy making his Wrangler debut, Victor Budik, lines up between the circles in the right wing position. Looks like Trace Day will take this draw on the near circle of the Rhinos zone. El Paso is able to win it and quickly get it out of their own zone. Down the right wing is Mason LaBelle. Gets forced behind McDonough. Ginger, the former Wrangler, steps in to help out. Looks to slide it up to Kate DeWolf, and now they battle for the puck in the far corner. The official gets caught in the middle of that Luckily, no harm, no foul, as Troutwine is able to escape with the puck. Nick Troutwine, the former Rhino, had 2 assists in 33 games with El Paso, as we have an offside on the Rhinos here with 8:39 to go in the first period. Troutwine was a Rhino last year, started the year as a member of the Minnesota Wilderness, got 20 games in with the Wilderness this season. Then on December 1st, he was acquired from the Wilderness by the Wranglers, and that's a great move. Looking back on it, as he's been a very steady defenseman for the Wranglers this season. He's paired up on that top D pairing with Nolan Gagnon. They've been a force to be reckoned with ever since the Wranglers made that move. So good acquisition by General Manager and President of Hockey Operations Harry Mahood as Jack Ivey enters the attacking zone. Toe drag to his backhand, shovels it towards the net, and Manzi is able to pounce on it and cover it up with 8:24 to go in the first period. And these were 2 teams that made some acquisitions before the trade deadline. For the Rhinos, their most recent acquisition was Tristan Zarski. He's playing in his 3rd game with El Paso. Started the year with the Austin Bruins. Carson Triggs, former Kenai River Brown Bear, as he started the season with them. Mason LaBelle started the year with Anchorage. Of course, the Wranglers also picking up Cole Semeniuk from the Ice Rays, Elias Abrandt from the Swedish club, Martins Kruklidis from the BCHL. It's a shot off the draw, is stopped by Manzi. The puck rolls back out to center. Wranglers look to quickly regroup. As down the left wing and into attacking territory is Gerhard. Rhinos quickly try and move it away from him. Battle for it on the far side wall. Buchanan comes away with it, gets tripped up in the process. Puck is loose between the circles. Looks like the Wranglers were looking for a call and then to be had. We're still 5-on-5 with 7:54 to go in the first. But another good scoring opportunity for the Wranglers. The Rhinos will chop it into the Wranglers zone. Triggs looks to get possession for the Rhinos, but instead the Wranglers charge up ice as Luke Morris darts towards the middle. Toe drag to his backhand, spins at the circle, looks to move it up to the point, but it goes off the leg of the linesman and all the way down to McDonough. Make that the head official. As Luke Morris back on the attack, down the right wing, fires, and reaching up to snare it out of the air is Manzi. He'll hold on with 7:22 to go in the first period. Shot count 8-2 in favor of the Wranglers, but still a scoreless game. And now it looks like Morris is going to the box, so the Rhinos will have their first power play opportunity of the game. And Morris trying to argue his case, but looks like he's going to need a better lawyer as he takes a seat. 2 minutes on the board, and the Rhino power play will get to work. So Morris, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's apparently that'll drive a coach crazy. Morris takes a seat. Wranglers penalty kill gets to work. Amarillo penalty kill, another top 10 unit in the league, 83.1%. That's 9th best in the North American Hockey League. Rhino power play, top 5, 22.16%, 5th best in the league. Off the draw, the Rhinos win it. At the left point, it's Lindsay. Working his way down the wall. Exchanges with Cameron in the corner. Tries to cut towards the middle. Wranglers fend him off. He moves towards the far wall. Up top, it's Lindsay. To the middle. He'll take a shot, and it's blocked out in front. Puck is loose. Rhinos scrambling for it, and they can't get the shot off as it ping-pongs its way into the far corner. El Paso retaining possession. Now Schepler turns it over. Ben Ivey picks up the puck and fires it down the distance for a Wrangler clear. And that kills off a little over 30 seconds on the Rhino power play. 6:45 to go in the first period. As El Paso looks to start their next sequence on the man advantage. Hiltonen finds Reed in stride, chops it to Lund. He'll go coast to coast for a man moving down below the goal line. Rhinos try and swing it up to the left point. Getting in the way of that is McNaughton. He'll take his time. softly fire it into the El Paso zone, kill off some more time. 54 seconds remaining on the Rhino power play. As El Paso enters the Wranglers zone with a dump in off the far corner. Rebound comes to Reed, and sharp to make the save is McDonough. Just like they drew it up as Hiltonen tries to drive it in deep, the pass is intercepted by Gagnon, and another Wrangler clear off of his stick. 33 seconds on the Rhino power play. Pellerine will start the next breakout for the Rhinos. Go right down Broadway. Find Walker moving in. Tries to split the D. Walker on his backhand. Looks to find a trailer. Pops up into the air. Eventually finds its way to the left point for Lindsay. Shuppler at the left circle. Going down low. In the corner. Finds Walker. His centering pass goes in and out the other side. Pellerine rolls around the net. On his backhand. Tries to twist it towards the net. Wranglers get in the way of that. Morris is out of the box. So both teams unsuccessful in their first power play of the game. We're even with 5:09 to go in the first period. As the Rhinos ice the puck. Wranglers with an offensive zone draw on the ensuing face-off. Well, really good looks there for the Rhinos on the power play. But the Wranglers PK unit standing tall to the task. Wrangler penalty kill now 43 for 51 in the 2024 calendar year. To this point, 11 games and some change, operating about 84% in that span. Off the draw, Rhinos pick up the puck. Luke Lindsay finds an avenue ahead. Off the stick of Ginger into the attacking zone. Ritchie will battle with a man down below his own goal line. He's able to drive it away from Arias and into the Rhinos zone. Slow moving puck. Evades an icing. Rhinos move it upwards for Lund. He exchanges with Tefelsky. Leading point scorer for the Rhinos. Works his way down the right wing. Nice defensive play by Kuklidas to poke the puck away from him. And the Wranglers move upwards offensively as Abrant looks to move around a Rhino defender. Unsuccessful in doing so. And now El Paso looks to go on the attack as they work it in deep. McRoberts quickly fires it off the far side boards. Puck ping-pongs out to center. And the Rhinos will keep possession with Hiltonen going D to D for Hooley. On the forecheck is Godowski, and already I'm noticing he's proven to be very effective on the forecheck and also very vocal out there as well, as I can hear him talking to his teammates mid-shift. Looks like he's going to be a big acquisition for the Wranglers down the stretch. The puck goes out of play with 4 minutes exactly remaining in the first period. Still a scoreless game here at the bullpen, and it seems like that's largely been the theme for the Wranglers this season. It's not a whole lot of scoring in the first periods, but a second period surge, as I've been calling it, really heat up in the final two periods. Tonight might be the same case as the Wranglers fling it in deep, goes behind Manzi. He's out to play it, finds Hooley. Wranglers almost spar the puck away from the Rhinos, but moving in on the attacking side is LaBelle. They'll bank it off the end wall. Troutwine steps in, tries to muscle away LaBelle as he's lurking, trying to pick his pocket. Wranglers successful in getting the puck back out to center. Down the right wing is Trace Day. Finds a man in the corner. Back to Day in the middle, and he just can't get the shot off. Wranglers are able to weasel it in deep, though, as on the end wall is Jacob Miller battling out two Rhinos. Is able to find its way up to the right point. DeMarco settles and shoots, and a deflection out in front just gets tipped wide. Miller is able to get a stick on it. Shot from the left side by Jack Ivey is directed out of play by Manzi with 3:07 to go in the first period. Jacob Miller doing it all on that last shift. He's a big man, 6'4", 15 pounds. And he was able to outwork two Rhinos below the goal line, keep possession for the Wranglers. That's what sets up that chance by DeMarco on that last sequence. And oh, by the way, it's still Miller who gets the last tip on it. Just couldn't poke it past Manzi. But a good shift for number 9 in black. Get a false start on the draw here. We'll do it again. Near circle of the Rhinos zone. It's going to be to the right of Manzi. This time we're all good. Rhinos win it. At the end wall, they'll get out to the blue line, and puck jumped over the stick of Ben Ivy. Otherwise, he would have been able to hold it in. Wranglers quickly back on the attack as right wing Jack Ivy fires. Save made by Manzi. They'll direct it below the goal line. Wranglers aggressive and pressuring here. Look to get it back. Bodies converging in the corner. The Wranglers looking to get it to Semeniuk. Rhinos get in the way, and Tefelski is able to jar it back out to the neutral zone. Make that Triggs. As they find a man moving in down the right side. Cameron fires, and it goes wide of the net. And the Wranglers are able to pick up that puck and just loft it back out to center, where Bolduc will bounce it off the backside of Ben Ivy. And that momentum will carry it back out into the Rhinos zone. Metric Bolduc, 11 goals on the season, 8 of them on the man advantage. He's proven to be effective on the power play for El Paso. As from the left side, Walker takes a shot, pad save McDonough. Troutwine picks up the rebounds. McNaughton has it at center ice, down the left wing, cuts towards the middle, and gets knocked off the puck nicely by Luke Lindsay. Good defensive play there. McNaughton, very shifty offensive forward for the Wranglers. As a big crunch on the near side, arm immediately goes up. The recipient was James Hooley, the third. He springs back up to his feet, but it was Gerhard that took that hit, and because of that threw that hit, excuse me. And because of that, he's going to go to the penalty box. Rhinos are going to get their second opportunity on the power play here tonight. It's going to be for head contact. With 1:48 to go in the first. Wranglers dominating the shot count 10-3 here in the first period, but it's a scoreless game. And now the Rhinos, on the man advantage, have a chance to take the lead. As their big guns are out there, Wranglers off the draw are able to get a clear out to center ice. Tefelski, Lund, and Bolduc, 3 leading point scorers for the the Rhinos out there, as well as Hiltonen and Reed, the Rhinos on the ice right now. Tefelski looks to pick it up on the near wall. Puck squeaks free, and the Wranglers get it down. They clear. And they'll get a partial change as the Ivy twins go off. McNaughton and Morris come on. DeMarco and Troutwine will stay. Lindsay through center ice. Banks it off the end wall. Onto the stick of DeMarco. It looks like we're going to get an offside on El Paso here with 1:07 to go in the first. 1:19 remaining on the El Paso power play. So the draw is going to be in front of the Wranglers bench. Luke Morris will take it. They'll send it to the wall in front of his own bench. Rhino is quick to scarf up the puck and get to work. As they once again fire it in, comes to the stick of Gagnon, and he will get the job done. That's another Wrangler clear with under a minute to go in the first period. Moving upwards is Pellerine. He'll bank it off the near corner. Moving in for a shot there, where the Rhinos, Walker took that, and he missed wide left. And now Rhinos will dish it back in deep as Lindsay, little dump and chase action. Ben Ivy gets there first. DeWolf was there. Rhinos keep it in at the line as Pellerine exchanges with DeWolf. Finds a man down low. Schepler banks it off the wall for Pellerine. He'll shoot, and McDonough is able to make the save on that play with traffic in front of him. And he'll hold it with 17.1 seconds to go in the first period. 29 seconds remaining on the penalty to Gerhard. As we're having some fun on a Friday night, got a college-style band here in attendance to my right. The drums are going. The blood is pumping. We're still looking for the first goal of the game, though. But it's been an exciting affair as the Rhinos work it up to the right point. Now across, Tim Mathis settles it down. Takes a shot. McDonough the save, and on the rebound, Rhinos trying to jar it home. And McDonough is able to pounce back into position and smother the puck with 6 seconds to go in the first period. Wranglers able to escape any danger off of that last sequence. Juicy rebound for the Rhinos in the blue paint. Looked like McDonough got most of that shot, but not enough as it was free for a moment, but he was able to spring back into position and cover up that puck to deny the Rhinos a goal on that last sequence. So draw will be on the far circle. It's going to be LaBelle against Morris. Morris wins it, gets it to the corner. Wranglers pin it up against the wall, and that is the end of the first period. Scoreless affair here in downtown Amarillo, but I'm sure things are going to ramp up here in the second period. And I'm not just talking about scoring, as we could have some bad blood in period number 2. Coming up next, the first intermission report. We'll talk about the events of the first 20 minutes. We'll preview period number 2. We'll also check in on some scores from around the South Division as we're getting closer and closer to playoff time. I want to pop in and see what the other teams in the division are doing as the playoff picture starts to take shape. Speaking of the playoff picture, we'll talk about that as well. All coming up next on the first intermission report on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Scoreless game here in El Paso. Something's got to give here in the second period. Guy Chiarenza here to open the first intermission report. Presented to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages here on the Wranglers Hockey Network. Not a whole lot to report here in the first intermission in terms of events in the first 20 minutes of play. El Paso took the first penalty of the game. Wranglers unable to capitalize on the man advantage. The next two penalties went against Amarillo. Wranglers were able to kill off the first Rhino power play attempt. And then the second one is still ongoing. El Paso will open the second period with 12 seconds of power play time, so the Wranglers just moments away from killing that second Rhino power play. In other words, I thought the first period went quite well for the Wranglers, as they really came here to play to begin the game. Jumped out to a big lead in the shot count. Rhinos, in the waning moments of the first period, were able to get a little bit closer in that regard. Shot count now 10-8 in favor of Amarillo. At one point, it was a much wider Wrangler margin. But now the difference is just 2. Now Jack Ivey leading the way with 3 shots for the Wranglers in the first period. Abrant with 2, Morris with 2. Jack Ivey leads the team in shots. And it's no wonder, because he has 26 goals on the season, which is tied for third most in the entire league coming into tonight's game. So for Jack and the Wranglers to look to get on the board here in the second period. We talked about it a little bit in the first period. We'll bring it up again. First period, in terms of scoring, has not really been the Wranglers' best period in that regard. The Wranglers have been much better in the scoring department in periods 2 and 3. So the Wranglers have just 26 first period goals this season. But in the second and third periods, it's a whole lot better. Second period, 45 goals on the year. In the third period, 51. So we've talked about it a lot here on the broadcast this season. I've nicknamed it the second period surge. Something that the Wranglers do between period 1 to period 2 just proves dividends. I mean, it pays off for them quite well. And I think you got to tip your cap to the coaching staff of the Amarillo Wranglers, head coach Ryan Anderson and assistant coach Connor Yanni. Where they're drawing up there in the locker room between the first and second periods, making those adjustments from period 1 to period 2 has really been night and day for the Wranglers in providing them a little bit of a jolt from period 1 to period 2. So that's the trend for the Wranglers this season. We'll see if that's the case here tonight. Now the Wranglers, when tied after 1, have a record of 11-4-3-1. The Rhinos, when tied after 1, 10-3-1-1. So pretty almost identical records there. Something's got to give, and that's really been the theme of the night so far, is something has got to give. You look at the playoff race, these two teams right in the thick of it. So we now know what the playoff scenarios, I guess the playoff format is, for a better term. Top 6 in the division make it. First 2 get a first round bye. The rest, seeds 3, 4, 5, and 6 will go up against each other in a play-in rounds. So El Paso, who currently sits in third place. If the season ended today, they play Oklahoma, who is in 6th. And then the Wranglers, who are in 4th, will play New Mexico, who's currently in 5th. Now, you look at the standings right now, there's a lot of movement that can happen between now and the end of the regular season. El Paso, out of the teams in the top 6, have the most games remaining. Coming into tonight, they have 17 games remaining. They're tied in that regard with the Oklahoma Warriors. Wranglers with 15 games remaining. They're sitting in 4th place, although 2 of those are against the Shreveport Mudbugs. We'll see them in the month of March over at the Pond. And then, of course, here tonight and then tomorrow against the Rhinos. And then 2 more against El Paso on the second to last weekend of the regular season. So, yes, the Wranglers are running out of games on the season. And a lot of teams that are behind them and in front of them have games in hand against them. But there's a chance for the Wranglers to make up ground if they just win those games against the teams that they're chasing. You win games against the Mudbugs, you're in pretty good shape. You win a couple games against the Rhinos here down the stretch, hey, you're right back in there in contention for the first or second seed in the South Division. Lone Star currently holds that top place in the division with 71 points on the year, but they do have 13 games remaining. So The cupboard is running dry for the Lone Star Brahmas. Is there a chance that a team could catch them for the division crown? I think so. There's a lot of hockey left to be played as we peek in on the out-of-town scoreboard. We gotta do a little eavesdropping and see what's going on a busy night in the North American Hockey League. We will begin our journey over at the pond in Shreveport. Mudbugs taking on the Ice Rays, and they've jumped out to a healthy 4-0 lead against the Ice Rays. Shreveport currently in second place, looking to add 2 more points to their arsenal after 1 period of play. It's the Mudbugs 4 and the Ice Rays nothing. Up next on the docket, we head on over to NYTEX Sports Center, where the Odessa Jackalopes are taking on the Lone Star Brahmas. About 5 minutes to go in the first period here, and ooh, look at this. We might have an upset on our hands as the Odessa Jackalopes have a 2-1 lead over the Lone Star Brahmas. Late in the first period, Odessa getting goals from Michael Kadlasik and Caden Morgan. The Lone Star goal coming from Ivan Zavernyuk. This is an Odessa team that currently sits in 7th place in the division, trying to gun for a playoff spot here down the stretch. We'll see how that fares for them. If they pick up a win here tonight, that would be huge. And finally, over at Greeley Ice House, they're about to get underway in about 10 minutes from now. Probably more like 15. It's the Oklahoma Warriors and the Colorado Grit doing battle up in Greeley. So keep an eye on that as the Warriors sit in 6th place. 49 points on the season, 6 points back of the Wranglers as they look to continue their surge up the South Division standings. So here's the rub. Here's the deal. Wranglers with 55 points right now. They're sitting in 4th. They sweep the Rhinos here this weekend, winning all of these games in regulation. They're 1 point back of El Paso. They'd had 59 points on the year. El Paso would have 60. Now, New Mexico is 3 points behind Amarillo. Now, the Ice Wolves and the Wranglers both have 15 games remaining on the season coming into tonight, but the Rhinos are the one team in the division that has the weekend off. So, the Wranglers here need to win these games and get some points, not just because they want to catch the Rhinos, but you also got to fend off the Ice Wolves, who are hungry to move up in the South Division. And we know home ice is going to play a big factor because every game in the play-on round, it's going to be a best of 3, will all be played in one building, under one roof. There's no traveling on the road in the playoff, in the play-in round. The higher seed will host all 3 games in the play-in. So home ice is going to prove to be pivotal. If you're the Wranglers, you don't want to surrender your spot to the Ice Wolves or the Warriors because you don't want to go on the road in the playoffs. You want to be right here in this building playing with your crowd. So that's why every point proving to be critical. So the Wranglers trying to jump further ahead in front of New Mexico and also catch El Paso in the process. That's what's at stake here this weekend. Big chance for the Wranglers to surge up the ranks of the South Division. And so we'll see how they fare. I thought that the Wranglers did a lot of things really well in the first period. But we'll save my thoughts for we come back on the other side of the break. And we'll be back in just a couple of minutes on the first intermission report presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back inside the Budweiser Bull Pen for the tail end of the first intermission report. Wranglers did a lot of really good things in the first period, but again, that elusive first period goal escapes them. They'll look to get it here in the second period as the Wranglers, really the story of the first period was the newcomers. Thought Magnus Gadowski really made his presence felt in the first period. Looks like he's going to be a strong forechecker for the Wranglers. 6'3", 205 pounds, left shot, forward. Acquired from the Maryland Black Bears. Seems like he's vocal, seems like he's a force. I'm excited to see what he can do for the Wranglers down the stretch. And I thought Elias Abramp, in that first period, probably played his best stretch of hockey in a Wrangler uniform. Abramp suiting up for game number 5 as a Wrangler here tonight. I thought the first period was excellent for him. He took 2 shots, and it looks like he's starting to really settle in with this club. Usually it takes guys a couple of games to really settle in with the Wranglers, find their way. It's a complex system that Ryan Anderson and Connor Yanni employ here with the Wranglers, but if every guy buys in, they grasp the system, they take hold of it, and they run with it, and they execute. Throughout the course of the season, the Wranglers have proven that's a very effective system as that coaching staff will work their way back out to the bench, and the Wranglers, in a moment, will join them on the ice. So, thought that Abramp had a solid first period. Gadowski, third line buzzing. I think those acquisitions by the Wranglers before the trade deadline and at the deadline were going to be the make or break here down the stretch for this team and how the playoffs might go. So see if the Wranglers can quickly get those guys to gel and run the table, go on a hot streak to end the season just like they did last year. As for Connor McDonough, stopped all 8 shots that he saw. He was good when he was called upon. Wranglers will quickly look to continue that stellar play in the second period. McDonough back out between the pipes, as is Michael Manzi for El Paso. He stopped all 10 shots that he saw in the first 20 minutes of play. As the Rhinos will skate from right to left, Wranglers from left to right, wearing their first responders jersey. It's a sweet look black jersey, black numbers, white outline, sublimated American flag on the shoulders. You got some red mixed in there, you got some blue mixed in there in the form of a couple of stripes. It is one beautiful look for the Wranglers. And hey, you have a chance to own one of those because we're going to be auctioning them off at the conclusion of tomorrow night's game. So make sure you get your tickets for that. If you haven't already, get them at panhandletickets.com. We want to pack the bullpen for another big game against the Rhinos. Looks like we're about set to start second period action. Ben Ivey will lean in and take the draw against Walker. And second period is underway as the Rhinos win the opening draw. Tail end of their power play remaining from the first period. Knocking off the stick of Reed. He'll chase after it. Gagnon gets there first. And the Wranglers now officially gone 2 for 2 on the penalty kill as we're back out to even strength. Wranglers find Gagnon streaking through the neutral zone. Dishes it towards his right for McDonald. Wranglers on the forecheck, slide it towards the far corner. Up top is Jack Ivey. He'll step in and shoot, and he rips it high and wide, not by much. As the Rhinos take hold of the rebound, go corner to corner. Scheffler tries to force it out of his own zone. McDonald is there to keep it in, and he gets blasted in front of his own bench by Walker. The Wranglers keep the puck in the Rhino zone as Ben Ivey darts between the middle, finds Gerard in, and he scores! Grayson Gerard gets the Wranglers on the board, going 5-0 on Manzi, and the Wranglers get on the board first. That's Grayson Gerard, fresh off the bench, scoring for Amarillo, opening the scoring here just a minute and make that 54 seconds into the second period. Ben Ivey the lone assist. So in the first minute, the Wranglers pounce and get that goal. And for Grayson Gerard, and that's his second goal of the season. Both of his goals on the campaign have come against the El Paso Rhinos, as Gerhard scored his first career North American Hockey League goal on the 25th of November in El Paso. Now he gets goal number 2 here tonight. And it could prove to be a pivotal one as the Wranglers get on the board first. Amarillo, when they score first, 14-1-1. When the Rhinos surrender the first goal of the game, they are 7-10-2-1. So we'll see how it pays off as the Wranglers, Kruklidis, will whack it around towards the near side wall. Battling there is the aforementioned Gerhard. He's able to pick the puck away from the Rhinos. Drifts his way up to the blind. Find Pukkanen at the half wall. Exchange with McNaughton, who gets dragged down. Stay 5-on-5 though. No arm is raised. Wranglers doing a good job of getting some zone time here. Rhinos trying to wedge it away from them. Wranglers strong on the puck. Slide it down below the goal line. As now Pukkanen sparring with Mathis. Even battle there. They got each other pinned up. Puck will come along to the stick of Lindsay. He'll spin away from the pressure. And backhanded out to the neutral zone. Bursting ahead is Cade DeWolf. He'll shoot, and it goes over the net. Seems like he just came out of nowhere for a offensive chance for El Paso. Just couldn't hit the net. Turnover here in the Rhino zone. Pukkanen will get it on his stick on the near half wall. Abrant joins the fray. Centering pass. Abrant chops it towards the net, and Manzi quick there to make the save. Now McNaughton from the left point drops it to the left circle for Abrant. Tries to take a shot, and the puck just flubbed off his stick at the last second, but he gets it back below the goal line. Abrant turns and shoots, and a save made by the shoulder of Manzi. He's able to hang on to the puck with 17:41 to go in the second period. Looks like the net came off on that last sequence as Manzi was trying to hug the post and get back across to make that save on the shot by Abrant. Put that back into place. Abrant in the third line stays out there. And what a shift for Elias Abrant. I really like what he's been able to do here tonight. As El Paso will rainbow it into the Wranglers zone. Amarillo looks to catapult it back out to the neutral zone, and they do. As down the left wing goes Gadowski. Takes a shot, and it's gobbled up by Manzi. A little over 2.5 minutes into the second period. And so the El Paso netminder will toss that puck over to the linesman. The ensuing draw is going to be on the far circle of the El Paso zone. So for Manzi, that ends 4 straight periods against the Wranglers, in which he did not surrender a goal. In the first minute of period 2, Amarillo gets on the board, courtesy of Rhino Slayer, Grayson Gerhard. Now keep in mind, the last time Gerhard scored against the Rhinos, Wranglers won that game 3-2 in overtime. So a good omen for the boys in black. From center, the Wranglers chop it into the attacking zone. Lindsay will pick up the puck, go D to D from Mathis. Looks to stretch it ahead for Shepler. The Rhinos look to get to work. As Shepler from the right corner tries to center a pass. TJ Ritchie standing tall, looking for a penalty as he got held up a little bit. Shot from Shepler below the circle is fought off by McDonough, and the puck will fling itself all the way down into the Rhino zone. Hard to tell who took a whack at that puck. But it is an icing on the Wranglers with 16:55 to go in the second period. First 3 shots of the second period belong to the Wranglers, one of which from Gerhard. Found the back of the net. Rhinos get to take a shot here in period number 2. Drawn to the left of McDonough. It's going to be Cade DeWolf against Luke Morris. Morris, the former Rhino, was acquired via trade last season. Happy to have him in a Wrangler uniform. He's to be a jack of all trades. He can do it all, and he wins that most recent face-off as TJ Ritchie gains center red. He'll whip it around towards the near side wall where Gadowski was waiting for it, but the puck leaped over his stick. Wranglers have to reset back out at center. Down the right wing. Rhinos from the line take a shot. Zarski sees it glance off the leg of Morris, and turning up ice is Gadowski. He'll softly tap it below the El Paso goal line as the Wranglers look to get a full change. At center, Rhinos looking to get to work. DeWolf will backhand it in, and now he will head to the bench. Rhinos get fresh blood on. Nick Troutwine, the former Rhino, will move his way down the left wing. Look to enter the zone for the Wranglers, but instead it springs onto the stick of Bull Duke, and he tries to knife his way towards the middle, but Troutwine stands him up tall. Puck rolls in on McDonough. He'll smother it with 16:01 to go in the second period. Reminder, February 23rd, we'll be back in this building. Odessa Jackalopes are coming to town, and it's college night. So to show up at the door with your college ID, there's also a ticket link floating around out there. Check out our social channels. You get a hold of that. $5 tickets for college students. So that's a heck of a deal. You can't beat it. I want to see you at the bullpen next weekend when the Wranglers take on the Odessa Jackalopes. We'll get to see good friend of the program, Brandon Luisi, voice of the Jackalopes, here tonight. No visiting broadcaster for the Rhinos here this weekend, so Rhinos fans, looks like you're stuck with me here tonight. Always good to see Duke Keith when I'm in El Paso. As the Rhinos take a quick shot, save made by the pad of McDonough. Bull Duke was there from the right circle. McDonough tall to make the task done. Makes the save, and now the Wranglers have iced the puck 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the second period. And with that shot by Bull Duke, they have their first shot of the second period. And for the Rhinos, it was a bit of a slow start in the shot department to begin period number 1. Looks like here in period 2, that might be the same case, as Torrey Lund will take the draw against Ben Ivy on the near circle. Ben wins the draw. Wranglers go D to D. Kyle DeMarco will pick it up in open space. Look to go coast to coast, finds a man in the middle. Jack Ivy will chip it towards the far corner. Racing after it is McDonald. Zarski gets there first. Escaping with the puck is Frank Tofelsky. We'll move it forward, not much more as the Wranglers quickly back on the attack. As the Rhinos are able to pick the pocket of them at their own blue line. Puck will meander its way to McDonough on the dump-in attempt. Walker trying to force it below the goal line, and he does, onto the stick of Bull Duke. Exchanges with Walker in the far corner. He'll twist and turn, flip the script, and send it towards the near side wall where Jack Ivy is waiting for it. He beats out Reed to the puck. Wranglers possess deep in their own territory. Is McDonald. Looks to find a trailer at the half wall. Rhinos being a thorn in his side on the forecheck, but the Wranglers, with some precise passing, are able to get it back out into Rhino territory. Well, Jack Ivy will fling it towards the net. Manzi keeps play moving as Jack and company head towards the bench. Here's El Paso centering feed, and a backhand shot gobbled up by McDonough. A.J. Reed was looking to find the mark. McDonough up to the task. 14:37 to go in the second period. Shot count 14-10 in favor of the Wranglers. They lead 1-0. Draw on the far circle. It's going to be Cade DeWolf taking this draw and winning it for El Paso's. At the right point, Hooley fans on the initial shot attempt and now elects to dump it down deep. He's from the right corner. Ginger gets pushed up against the wall by McNaughton. Puck squirts free. DeWolf finds Ginger below the goal line. Wranglers trying to knock the puck off the Rhinos' stick deep in their own territory. DeWolf tries to shimmy away from McRoberts, but a good defensive play there from the Michigan man as he has him pinned up against the wall. McRoberts standing tall, play still pinned up against that end wall. Fans urging for play to continue. We're getting a little restless here, but still a sparring match there behind McDonough. Now on a wraparound chance, it squeaks free. LaBelle quickly turned towards the net after digging it free, but McDonough is able to make the stop. Wranglers move into the attacking zone. Troutwine forced to handle it back out at center. He'll gain the red line and knife it around towards the near side wall where they'll reverse it back on the far side looking for Morris. Troutwine pinching. He's able to keep possession for the Wranglers. Left circle. Abraham a shot. Deflection out in front. Godowski on the doorstep. And somehow Manzi makes the save. Wranglers keep possession. Troutwine fires towards the net. Deflection. And it rings off the iron. And the net came off on that last shot. And we get a whistle to end that last sequence. 13:18 to go in the second period. Wranglers knocking on the door looking for that second goal of the game. My goodness. Magnus Godowski looking to cash in his first game in a Wrangler uniform. That's one way to make a first impression as Wranglers win the ensuing draw. Troutwine takes a shot from the left point. It's blocked by Gingner. He'll get bumped off the puck by Abrants. But the puck trickles back out to center. Troutwine fires it off the shoulder of Hooley on the dumping attempt. Luckily for Hooley, looks like he's going to be all right as he picks up the puck and a couple quick passes, and the Rhinos are into Wrangler territory. So rolls in on McDonough, quickly plays it to Gagnon, and he was looking for Abrant up ahead, but the pass just offline. It's going to be an icing on the Wranglers as the puck went all the way down. It'll be a defensive zone draw for Amarillo with 12:50 to go in the second period. Amarillo leading the shot count by 6, 17-11. As the Rhinos off the draw, try and take a shot. Torrey Lund sees Morris's stick, gets in the way of that attempt, and now the Wranglers able to get it back out for the next breakout. Godowski leads the charge, finds a man in the middle looking for Morris. Rhinos converged on him and took the puck away. Morris looking to get it back as moving up ice is Bolduc. Bolduc somehow keeps the stuck puck on his stick, finds a trailer in Mathis, but he can't handle the puck. Wranglers try and wedge it free, but the puck stays in their own zone. It's a turnover here by Bolduc. No look pass goes to no one in between the circles. Wranglers will dump it in so they can get a change. A little over 12 minutes to go in the second period. Wranglers lead 1-0. As Lund finds Reed at center ice, they'll swat it into the attacking zone and look to get to work. Wranglers looking for too many men on the ice as the puck moves in front of the Rhinos bench while they were trying to change. Instead, we stay 5-on-5 as Trace Day enters the attacking zone. He'll wheel it around towards the near corner as Miller jarring for it on the near half wall. Budic also in the area. Wranglers try and chuck it along towards the far side wall. Rhinos getting in the way of it. Semeniuk holds it in at the line, but the bouncing puck is forced back out to center, courtesy of Bradley Walker. In the neutral zone, Jack Ivey picks up the puck with speed, drifting towards his right, flings it towards the net, goes over the glove of Manzi, who's trying to leap and make the save. Is at the line. McRoberts takes a shot, goes off a shin into the corner, and El Paso stretch pass connects. The other way is LaBelle. He fires, and a save made by McDonough on the breakaway. LaBelle had a chance to tie the game, and McDonough stoned him cold. Looked like that play was very, very close to being offside, but they let it go. Slap shot from the right point by Gagnon, flutters towards the net. Wranglers on the second attempt can't get it to Manzi. From the left circle, Ben Ivey exchanges with McDonald. Now Jack Ivey has it in the near corner. He'll leave it for Ben Ivey. Puck trickles back to Jack, and he'll exchange with Ben Ivey. And now McDonald has it, right circle. He'll shoot, save made by Manzi. Rebound is between the circles, but no Wrangler was there, and the Rhinos will chuck it in on McDonough from the Wrangler blue line. That'll stop time with 10:18 to go in the second period. It's the Wranglers 1 and the Rhinos nothing as Grayson Gerhard gets the Wranglers on the board in the opening minute of the second period. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NETV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
You've got a good one on our hands as the Wranglers lead 1-0 with 10:18 to go in the second period. So we're approaching the midway point of the game. McDonough has stopped all 12 shots that he's seen to this point. Michael Manzi, 17 of 18. As the ensuing draw is going to be to the right of McDonough. Jack Ivey to take it against Torrey Lund. Lund wins the draw, finds Tefelsky. He'll wheel his way to the left side, take a snapshot that is fought off by McDonough below the goal line. DeMarco gets a hold of it, but you get a whistle. With 10:10 to go in the second. And that whistle coming because the net behind McDonough was knocked off. So, another draw on that near circle. It'll be Lund against Jack Ivey again, and off the draw, Lund wins it. And a shot by the Rhinos screeches by the ear of McDonough. In the right corner, Bolduc looks to charge around the net. Kukalidis picks his pocket. The Wranglers jam the puck back out to center ice. Rhinos look to re-enter. Wranglers get a steal. Is down the right wing. McDonald, nice move, cuts towards the middle, finds a trailer, and Jack Ivey just couldn't settle down the bouncing puck between the circles. Works up to McRoberts, who takes a blast of a shot off the leg of Tefelsky. And the Rhinos will pick up the puck, move out of their own zone as Bolduc gains some speed. He'll flip it to himself as he gets to the puck below the goal line. DeMarco is able to muscle him off the puck for a moment. Bolduc gets it back and backhands it up top for Luke Lindsay. He fires, goes off a leg onto the tape of Bolduc to the middle. Shepler, his shot is blocked by McNaughton, and now on the left wing, Mathis to the middle, and the Rhinos score. And that's going to be Eddie Shepler getting the goal for El Paso, and we are tied at 1. For the Rhinos, it was just one shot after another. They were hard on the puck, able to keep it on their stick. And then Mathis with a precise pass to the middle connects with Shepler. And the Rhinos get on the board with 9:12 to go in the second period. So at the midway point, it's a brand new game. All knotted up at 1. Wranglers lead the shot count 18-13. And we'll see how the Wranglers respond here on the ensuing shifts as they win the ensuing draw. Luke Morris scarfs off the puck and finds Gagnon. He look to push the puck up ahead, but sees it flutter back into his own zone as the Rhinos look to get to work. Gagnon is able to find Gadowski on the far wall. Quickly exchanges with Morris moving up ice, but not a whole lot more as the puck is shipped back into the Wranglers zone where it'll be picked up by Troutwine. And he will ice the puck with 8:41 to go in the second period. Looked like that puck might have glanced off a stick right at the Rhino blue line, but looks like my eyes might have deceived me, as this draw is going to come all the way back into the Wranglers zone with 8:41 to go in the second period. Draw won by El Paso. Quick shot by LaBelle. Wranglers get stick on puck and directed towards the near corner. LaBelle looks to get it back. Gagnon's got him pinned up against the end wall. LaBelle slips free. Finds Lindsay up at the right point. Quickly moves towards his left. Lindsay fires and it's blocked by Gadowski. Puck stays in play as it goes below the goal line. As LaBelle finds a trailer. Play moves over into the near corner. Morris has a man pinged up against the boards. That's Ginger. And the Rhinos lose possession of the Wranglers, move up ice. As Gadowski charges into the attacking zone. Mathis is able to pick the puck away. The Rhinos will charge up ice. As down the right wing, Ginger backhands it to the middle. Bouncing puck. Miller gets there in time. And now the Wranglers have a breakaway the other way. Potential 3-on-1. Miller all alone. Fires. Scores! It's Miller time! Jacob Miller all alone, and the Wranglers have a 2-1 lead. Just about a minute and a half after the Rhinos tied the game up at 1. Wranglers on the quick breakout find Miller all alone. And he fires it between the wickets of Manzi to get the Wranglers back on the board. It's 2-1. For Jacob Miller, that's goal number 3 on the season. And the Wranglers have all the momentum back, and now we'll see how the Rhinos respond. We'll wait to see what the official word is on the assists. Looks like it's Trace Day and TJ Ritchie getting the apples on the Miller goal. Wranglers quickly back on the attack between the circles. Swatting at it is Jack Ivey. Tries to rip a shot away, but getting in the way is Frank Tefelsky on the back check. And now here goes Tefelsky into Wrangler territory. Bruclitus meets him below the Wrangler goal line, pops over to DeMarco. And now Torrey Lund had a chance to possess. Wranglers able to steal it away and move it back into the Rhinos zone. Tefelsky from the red line backhands it into the Wranglers zone. Torrey Lund looks to set up shop. He gets pushed up against the corner wall as the puck goes corner to corner. On the far side, it's Walker, leaving it for Shepler, the Rhino goal scorer. Below the goal line, Walker on his backhand, drives it towards the middle. Rhinos can't stash it home. Puck squeaks free to Hiltonen, and he scores. There was traffic out in front of McDonough. I don't know if you ever saw that puck. That's Paavo Hiltonen tying the game up at 2. And how quickly the tides can turn. So it's the Rhinos tying the game up at 1 apiece. Wranglers respond about a minute and a half later to make it 2-1. The Miller goal, and now Paavo Hiltonen from Walker and Reed makes it a 2-2 game. A minute and 5 seconds after the Miller goal. So now we look for a response from the Wranglers as we're all tied up at 2 below the goal line. Puukkonen fights off an attacker. Goes behind Manzi on his backhand. Puukkonen finds Troutwine. He'll stop on the far corner, pivot, whip it around on his forehand towards the near side. Gerhard gets there. The sling below the goal line, bounces back to him. They'll fire, and it's snared out of the air by Manzi. And he needed quick reflexes to make that save. What a snapper of a shot from Gerhard, who was looking for his second of the game. Wranglers bottom 6 continuing to shine here tonight. Get a goal from Gerhard. And a goal from Miller. Gerhard actually playing on the second line here tonight in the absence of Zapp. Normally you would see him in the bottom 6, but looks like he's making the most of his playing time, getting that goal here. That made it 1-0 Wranglers. Meanwhile, the ensuing draw is going to be on the near circle of the El Paso zone, and Tefelsky comes away with it after the Rhinos win that draw, but quickly an arm is raised as we have a penalty behind the play. And we'll see who the offender is. It's Medrick Bolduc going into the box for the Rhinos. It's the first penalty of the second period. It comes with 5:59 to go in the second frame. And Bolduc takes a seat for 2 minutes for slashing. So now the Wranglers have a chance to once again take the lead as the power play looks to get to work. Their second opportunity of the game. They went 0 for 1 back in the first period. Rhinos win the opening draw. Try and bat it out of the zone. Jack Ivey keeps it in as he flings it towards the near corner. Ben Ivey picks it up, gets dragged down. Wranglers looking for a penalty, and they're not going to get one as the Rhinos get it back out to center, and they'll catapult it back down to McDonough. A little over 5.5 minutes remaining in the second period. 1:30 remaining in power play time for the Wranglers. McDonald lays it back to Gagnon. Puck enters the Rhinos zone and quickly exits as Pellerine is able to volley it back out into the Wranglers zone. Wranglers being cautious on the entries. Down the right wing goes Ben Ivey. He's got some speed. Button hooks at the half wall. Looks for a trailer. He has Gagnon center point to the left side. McDonald settles it down. Back up to Gagnon. Works his way down the left wall and shoots, and it's blocked by Zarski. Gagnon on the rebound. Directs it back up to the right point for Ben Ivey. Quickly darts down the wall at the right circle. Plays it back to Gagnon. Now finds Ben Ivey below the circle to the middle. And a save made on the doorstep by Manzi on Pukkanen, who tried to tap it home on the one-timer. Now behind the net, it's McDonald to the right wing for Ben Ivey. Settles down the puck to DeMarco. Top of the left circle, and his shot is fought off by Manzi. Play goes below the goal line. Rhinos pick up the puck in an open space. They'll get a clear. A couple of really good looks for the Wranglers on that last sequence. A couple big saves by Manzi. A little bit of puck luck for the Rhinos. We stay tied at 2. 8 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power plays. The puck fluttering around in the Wrangler zone is just now settled down by Troutwine. And the penalty expires with 3:53 to go in the second period. Wranglers come up empty-handed as McDonough plays the puck behind his own net. Sees a Rhino crashing in. This Bolduc fresh out of the box, and now here he's got it. But quickly a whistle blows with 3:45 to go in the second period. So Bolduc, who had some time to rest up, think about what he had done, comes out of the box. Quickly looks to get back to his scoring ways. It gets shut down. McDonough with a couple big saves. And we're still tied at 2. 4 goals here in the second period after a scoreless first. Exciting times here in downtown Amarillo with 3:45 to go in the second period. We'll be back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network, on NETV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
So it looks like they're going to bring out the ice crew here. We have a stoppage. So it looks like they're repairing a pane of glass in the far corner of the Wrangler zone. So they'll take that out, patch it up, put a new one in, whatever they're going to do. We will return when they are done on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NETV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
looks like it's shaping up to be a bit of a lengthy delay here, as they're hard at work fixing up that corner wall, far corner of what has been for the second period, the Wranglers zone. Bring you back into the broadcast, though, as we'll talk some shop here during the stoppage. Reminder that the second intermission report is coming up at the conclusion of the second period. Second intermission report brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. Coming up on the second intermission report, we'll break down the events of the first 40 minutes, preview the final 20. And hey, we might have a little bit more after that. Things stay the way that they currently stand, with the game tied up at 2. We'll also take a look at some scores from around the league on what's shaping up to be a big night in the South Division. With a lengthy delay like this, now you've got pretty much the entire Wrangler bench. I mean, the bench is pretty much cleared here. You got guys moving around just trying to keep those muscles loose. You got guys meandering around out on the ice. A couple guys stretching out on the far wall. Rhinos are taking more of a huddled up approach. You had a couple guys moving around a little bit. Now it looks like they've just bunched up at their own bench. And in a moment like this, it could be a big momentum killer. Looked like the Rhinos were kind of pushing the narrative last couple of shifts after the Wranglers were unsuccessful on their second power play attempt. Bolduc came out of the box, got a couple shots away, and then that's when we had the stoppage to fix the issue in the far corner. So it looks like now they're trying to push that pane of glass back out, back up, I should say, into the boards. Looks like they're successful so far. This reminds me of the time last season I was with the Utah Grizzlies with my good friend and mentor Tyson Whiting. We had about, I want to say, a 25-minute delay. I think we were pushing half an hour of a delay, and I believe it was the playoff series against the Idaho Steelheads last season at the Mavericks Center. Similar situation where you just have some glass repairs, and I think the initial sequence was that they couldn't find the pane of glass laying around the back rooms of the Mavericks Center, so that gave us a good delay, and then took them a while to get that pane of glass in. Ended up being almost a half an hour, so that night we almost had our own talk show there. Pretty much an extended intermission report on that good night. Tyson calling the game for the for the Grizzlies here tonight, as they're taking on the Wheeling Nailers at the aforementioned Mavericks Center. Grizzlies also broadcast their audio to YouTube, so if you got time, go over there, check out Tyson's work. He does a fantastic job, and tell him guys sent you. As looks like now they got the drill out there. So they're going to drill the stanchion back on. Climb down from the ladder, and hopefully that's it. Give it a little shove. Yeah, it looks good. Oh, big shove there. Yeah, that's going to hold up. Big thanks to our ice crew. Looks like they've wrapped up over there, so not a half an hour delay. Still pretty substantial one, as they'll walk the ladder off. And sometime soon we will return to live action. And so on a stoppage like that, where we were stopped for probably, I'm not too good at keeping track of time in my head, but it's got to be over 5 minutes. You got to think that it's kind of a hard reset on the momentum here in this game. We'll see if the Wranglers can capitalize on it with 3:45 to go in the second period. So the draw is going to be on the near circle of the Wranglers zone. Morris to take it, and he wins it. Crashing in is LaBelle. Rhinos look to get the puck, and they do, as Ginger will drop it behind McDonough for LaBelle. Tries to chop at it and get it between the circles, but the Wranglers direct it back below the goal line. And in the corner, the puck Squirts free to Troutwine. He'll knock it out to his own blue line. With a little help, the Wranglers push it up into the Rhinos zone. As Gadowski on the forecheck, hard on the puck. Drives it below the goal line. 2 Wranglers, 2 Rhinos pinned up against the end wall. Now Gadowski jarring with Mathis, and he's able to keep possession for the Wranglers. As Gadowski below the goal line loses his stick to Mathis and gets shoved down to the ground. No arm raised. We stay 5-on-5 as Morris will backhand it to Abrant. He's jostling with Hilton in the far corner. Morris crunches a man. That's to Wolf below the goal line, but the Rhinos are able to shovel it back out to center. And a little bit more as they get a change. With 2:45 to go in the second period. Wranglers on the attack. Centering pass below the goal line. Finds the stick of Manzi. Rhinos escape any more danger and move up ice. As a shot there is blocked by Semenyuk. Eddie Shepler looking for a second of the game. Semenyuk with the puck on his stick enters the attacking zone. Cuts towards the middle and fires wide left of Manzi. Wranglers keep possession though as Jack Ivey centers for Ben Ivey. Gets bumped off the puck and the Rhinos were able to get a clear. Ben Ivey looked like he was all alone, then out of nowhere the Rhinos came crashing in. Were able to clear the puck. Now Jack Ivey twisting and turning deep in his own zone with 2 minutes to go in the second period. He's able to work the puck into the Rhinos zone where Tristan Zarski will move it out of the Rhinos zone. He's down the left wing is Pellerine. Banks it off the end wall. Karams to McDonough. They'll leave it for TJ Ritchie. Exchanges with Semenyuk, loses the puck to Lund. Centering feed, Rhinos were there. Tefelsky couldn't rip the shot off. Wrangler was in the right place at the right time defensively. And now they go the other way. Pukkanen down the left side, takes a shot and it goes wide. Gerhardt picks it up on the right point, tries to drive it in deeper, but getting in the way of that is Tori Lund on the back check. Spinning away from Pukkanen. Lund is able to work back out to the line, but the Wranglers keep it in. It's Gerhardt. Feathers it down low behind Manzi. Pukkanen on the forecheck, looks to get it back. Rhinos get up to the line, held in by DeMarco. A shot goes wide of the glove of Manzi. And now at the left point, held in by McNaughton. He gets dumped in front of the Wranglers bench. He got hit from behind, and that's going to bring a penalty to El Paso as McDonough sprints towards the bench, but El Paso touches up with 58.2 seconds to go in the second. As McNaughton gets up to his feet, at least I believe that was McNaughton. In these jerseys, it's kind of hard to tell with the black on black. But either way, the Rhinos are going to have to kill off another penalty. And for the Wranglers, you go to the power play. It looks like everybody's okay on that last play. Bolduc gets 2 minutes for checking from behind. So he gets his second penalty of the second period. With 58 seconds to go in the second frame. All tied up at 2. Wranglers with a chance to take the lead with a PPG, but they're going to have to start from their own zone as Jack Ivey can't hold in the puck off the face-off victory. And so it'll be Ben Ivey swinging it out to the right side for Jack Ivey. Stops at the red line, finds a trailer in Gagnon, and he will enter the zone. A backhand toss goes behind Manzi. Rhinos get there first. They'll slap it up to the left point, but it's held in by Gagnon. McDonald. Wranglers work it out to the right side. Ben Ivey steps in and shoots, and it goes off the bar and stays out. Center point, Gagnon a shot, fought off by Manzi. Ben Ivey is there below the goal line. Wranglers twist it back up to the left point where Jack Ivey will hold. 15 seconds to go as down low is McDonald. Finds Ben Ivey on the near half wall. Rhino crashing in on him, it's Walker. Ben keeps the puck on his stick. Drifts it towards left, takes a shot, and a save made by Manzi. Glove stop with 3.2 to go in the second period. A couple of really good looks for the Wranglers on that last sequence, and yeah, they say it's a game of inches. And a Ben Ivey shot goes bar down and stays out. If that puck is just an inch lower, Wranglers take a 3-2 lead. But it remains a 2-2 game with 3 ticks on the clock. In period period 2. So Ben Ivy will take the draw on the far circle against Cade DeWolf. Players getting a little antsy, a little jumpy. Haven't dropped the puck yet. Ben will reset, lean in. And they drop the puck, goes towards the wall. Rhinos get a stick on it. And the second period expires with a game tied at 2. Sets the stage for a very exciting third period between two teams jockeying for positioning in the South Division as the playoffs grow closer and closer. As for us, we'll take a couple minutes to breathe, let things settle in, and then when we return, we'll head into the second intermission report brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to the Budweiser Bull Pen, all tied up at 2 as a Combined 4 second period goals after a scoreless first period sets the stage for an exciting third here in Amarillo. Guy Chiarenza here to bring you the second intermission report, brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. Well, at the end of the first period, said something's got to give. Well, what we got is 2 goals from the Wranglers in the second and 2 goals from the Rhinos as well. As opening the scoring in the second period, didn't take long. 54 seconds into the second frame. It's Grayson Gerhardt getting his second goal of the season. Both goals coming against El Paso. Gerhardt gets the goal. Ben Ivy, the lone assist, makes it 1-0 Wranglers. But the Rhinos, a little over the midway point of the game, 9:12 to go in the second period. Eddie Shepler from Tim Mathis and A.J. Reed scores to make it a 1-1 game. We look for the Wranglers to respond. And respond they did, as just about a minute and a half later, Jacob Miller from Trace Day and T.J. Ritchie makes it a 2-1 hockey game. As on the fast break, Wranglers recognizing that they might have numbers the other way, quickly charge up ice. Good recognition there from Trace Day on the far wall to realize what was developing out in front of him. Found his way down the left wing, centered a pass for Miller, who was driving forward, and he went 5-hole on Manzi to give the Wranglers a 2-1 lead with 7:48 to go in the second period. But the Rhinos would respond. A minute and 5 seconds later, to be exact. So first you get the response from the Wranglers, then you get another response from the Rhinos. This time it's Paavo Hiltonen. He fires a shot into traffic. I don't think McDonough saw the puck as it went over his left shoulder and into the back of the net to make it a 2-2 hockey game. Bradley Walker and A.J. Reed with the assists on the Hiltonen goals. So for A.J. Reed, it's a multi-point night. He's got 2 assists. Paavo Hiltonen now has 2 goals and 6 assists in his last 6 games. And we're all tied up at 2 after 40 minutes of play. But I think the big thing right now is you look at who's scored in this game, who's been impactful. For both squads, it's been the bottom 6. Frank Tefelsky for El Paso has pretty much been a non-factor. Torrey Lund has chipped in at times, but he's been held off the score sheet. And Medrick Bolduc seems like he's trying to do something, but he's got 2 penalties in the game. Wranglers unsuccessful on those power play chances to this point. Wranglers 0 for 2 so far. They have a minute and 2 seconds of power play time to work with on Bolduc's second penalty of the game to open the third period. Rhinos have not scored on their power plays. Wranglers are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. And so the Rhinos' big guns have been held off the board, but aside from the assist from Ben Ivy on the Gerhardt goal, it's been a bit of a quiet night from the Wranglers' top line as well. And so you got to think here in the third period, I think whoever stars show up to play here in period number 3, I think that's who's going to win the game. You know, we talk about depth scoring a lot. We talk about role players, key players stepping up in critical moments, giving you a chance to win the game, giving you that added scoring, that added oomph a little bit. Sometimes it's not even scoring. Sometimes it's just playing hard on the puck, generating penalties, getting things going on the forecheck. Well, here tonight, the Wranglers' depth players are getting the job done. Grayson Gerhardt, who moves up, playing right wing, gets a chance on the second line in the absence of Roman Zapp, who's out tonight due to illness. He makes the most of his opportunity and gets a goal, and I really feel like he's having one of his best games of the season, and it's nice to see him get rewarded here tonight for his efforts. And then Ben Ivy gets the assist on that goal. For Ben, that's his first point in his last 6 games, so good to see him back on the score sheet. If they can get him jumping, get him buzzing here down the stretch, that would certainly bode well for the Wranglers in their favor. And then, of course, you see on the Wranglers' second goal, that fourth line chiming in to get a goal. Day, Miller, and then T.J. Ritchie picks up his second point in a Wrangler uniform with a secondary assist. So the role players, the bottom 6, those key guys are doing their job for the Wranglers here tonight. And so you look to the star power, you look towards that first line, Jack McDonald, Ben Ivey, Jack Ivey to get things done. Now Ben Ivey was just inches away from scoring a goal on the power play here in period number 2. Waning moments of the period. Ben goes bar down, and if you shot that puck just an inch lower, it would have been in the back of the net, but instead it goes off the iron and back out into play. No goal, we stay 2-2, but seems like Ben is having one of his best games over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully that's a sign of good things to come for him, and I think Jack Ivey has had a pretty good game as well, but you look for that line for scoring. They're going to need it here in the third period. Looks like Jack Ivey, who leads the team in shots, has continued to add to his count here tonight, as he's now up to 4 shots in the game. He's tied with Elias Abrant in that department here in this game. I think Abrant has really been a dominant force for the Wranglers. I think his first couple games in a Wrangler uniform, he just needed some time to settle in. It's kind of like, okay, just learn the system. Well, it looks like he's found a home on that third line with Luke Morris as his center. And I tell you what, the kid is buzzing here tonight. If this is a sign of things to come from him, boy, me oh my, we could have a little goal scorer on our hands, as Elias Abrant has really shown here tonight his ability to make plays in the attacking zone. He's also been pretty good on the back check as well. So I've really been happy with the way that he's played here tonight. I'm sure the coaching staff is as well. Abrant playing in his 5th game as a Wrangler, as he was acquired back when the Wranglers played the Oklahoma Warriors, is when he made his debut. He was acquired from HC Calix, Swedish club over across the pond. So looks like the depth players are all coming together. I really like the way that Magnus Gadowski has played in his first game in a Wrangler uniform. It looks like things are all coming together here for the Wranglers. I think the only thing missing, that cherry on top, is for your top guns to go out and score as well. And the Wranglers have done a good job. I mean, it's not like they've been quiet or anything. They've been buzzing, that first line has, but in a time like this, in a big game here in terms of the playoff picture, a game on home ice, good crowd here tonight. You want to come in with a victory? You look to those guys to make an impact and help you get it done. When we come back on the second intermission report, checking on some scores from around the league and see how things are shaping up in the South Division and how it could impact this game here tonight. There's all that and a little bit more when we return on the second intermission report, presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Both teams back out there. Looks like we're just about set to start third period action. Before we do, let's take a quick peek and see what other teams are doing around the division. Looks like Oklahoma up 2-0 on Colorado 5 minutes into the second. Odessa and Lone Star tied up at 2 tail end of the second period. And the Mudbugs now touchdown 7-0 over the Ice Rays at the top of the third period. And that is what we've got going around the South Division as we open the third period of play. All tied up to begin period number 3. Something's got to give as the Wranglers win the opening draw of the third period. Still in the power play. Look to set up shop as Gagnon picks the puck in his own zone. Will swing out right side of his own net and start the charge for the Wranglers on the man advantage. As Pukanen gains the blue line, they'll sling it around towards the near side wall. Wranglers reverse it, send it back to the far side. And now, oh, look at this, another reverse. Back out on the near side, Ben Ivy crashing towards the puck. Rhinos get there and get a clear with 20 seconds remaining on the penalty to Bolduc. Wranglers try and re-enter at the blue line in the waning moments of the power play. Rhinos bottle that up. And now Kruklides will wait behind McDonough, and that will do it for the penalty. So far, both penalty kill units standing tall here tonight. As Morris enters on the right wing. The puck glance off his stick. Roll back out to the neutral zone where DeMarco will pump it in. In the near corner, Luke Morris on his backhand evades the pressure of Hiltonen. Moves towards his forehand, centers for Nagowski, fires in and out of the glove of Manzi and Abrant on the second attempt, fired it off the side of the nets. Oh, we had a wide open net, just couldn't connect, and now we're going to have a power play with 18:26 to go in the third period, and it's going to belong to the Rhinos. It's Gadowski who took the shot. Initially is headed to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. 1 minute and 34 seconds into the third period. So for Gadowski, that's his first penalty minutes as a Wrangler. Welcome to the club. And the Rhinos look to get to work. Wranglers get an opening clear as DeMarco gets the deed done. For Gadowski, didn't take a whole lot of penalty minutes with the Black Bears. In 28 games, only had 10 penalty minutes. So it looks like that's a rare occurrence for him. As Reed down the left wing, banks it off the wall. And out on the opposite side, Ben Ivy takes a stick up high. Rhinos touch up. We're going to have some 4-on-4 time in the early stages of the third period. For 1 minute and 38 seconds to be exact. Looks like the Wranglers catch a break there for Ben Ivy. Unfortunately, he has to shake that one off. Takes the stick up high. Check for blood. Doesn't look to be any. And so here we go. We got some open ice here. Wranglers personnel right now: McNaughton, Troutwine, Gagnon, and Pukanen. Defelski goes to the box. 2 minutes for high stecking. With 18:03 to go in the third period. Rhinos quartet. You got Mathis, Bolduc, Lund, and Lindsay. And off the draw, it comes to Luke Lindsay. He'll go D to D for Mathis. And elects at the zone. Stretch pass offline for Lund, but he picks up the loose puck below the goal line and immediately gets dumped down to the ice by Gagnon. And the Wranglers slide the puck into the attacking zone. McNaughton on the forecheck looks to get it back. He gets spun off the puck by Mathis. Good forecheck there, though, as the Wranglers able to hem the Rhinos in the zone for a moment. Another stretch pass attempt for the Rhinos. Goes off the stick of Bolduc and in deep. McDonough plays it to his left for Troutwine. Loses the puck. Rhino steal to the middle. Shot there by Triggs, and McDonough makes the save. Well, well, well. Connor McDonough, how do you do it? Another big save for number 1 in black, keeping us tied up at 2 as Carson Triggs came streaking in down the left wing. McDonough stones him cold as Morris takes a shot on the right wing. And now Manzi has to make an excellent save to fight him off. He holds on with 37 seconds of 4-on-4 time remaining. And that comes 2 minutes and 58 seconds into the third period. Draw on the far circle, won by the Wranglers. Semeniuk across for a blast by DeMarco. And that one is fought off by the blocker of Manzi. Now DeMarco trying to keep it in at the left point. Rhinos are able to force him back out to center, but Wranglers quickly back on the attack as McDonald below the right circle takes a shot. And Manzi might have gotten a piece of that. As McDonald back below the goal line. Battling with Hooley, and now we get a whistle as Manzi got a piece of the puck. Looks like he froze it with 16:40 to go in the third. Fans oohing and awing. 15 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. And then the Wranglers are going to have a little bit of power play time. Not a whole lot. About 23 seconds. So it's something to work with. You got to be smart about it. His draw on the near circle, won by El Paso. LaBelle is able to shovel it back to his defense, and the Rhinos get it out to center. Gagnon loses an edge. Moving in is Shepler, but the Rhinos are offside, as I believe Walker was a step ahead. And so that stops the clock with 7 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4, and then Godowski will come out of the box. The Wranglers will have a couple cents worth of power play time to work with. Ben Ivey wins the neutral zone draw in front of his own bench. Jack Ivey will leave it for Gagnon, and now Wranglers are on the power play for about 20 seconds. Gagnon through center, drops it off for Ben Ivey, enters the attacking zone. Down the left wing, ships it along towards the far side for Puukkonen. Battling along the wall, puck squeaks free. At the point, Gagnon across for Ben Ivey, top of the left circle. Leaves it for McDonald. Now back to Ben Ivey. A couple quick passes. Rhinos get a stick on puck, shovel it into the Wrangler zone, and now here comes Stefelski out of the box. Below the goal line, spins in the corner. Stefelski on his backhand, banks it off the near wall for Lund. Up top, Rhinos dish it down deep as Stefelski gets bumped off the puck by Gagnon. Wranglers looking to steal. Stefelski's had a quiet night so far. Finds Bolduc on the near wall. Bolduc tries to shimmy his way down low. Wranglers got a stick on the puck as Puukkonen kicks it to his D-man and Gagnon, who will rainbow it back out to center. It evades the glove of Lindsay. Now darting forward is McDonald. Cuts towards the goal. Gets dragged down. No arm is raised. And now the Rhinos charge back ice. Back up ice as down the left wing is Lund. Spins away from the pressure. Loses the puck to Abramp. Morris steps in. Now Ginger takes his shot off of his steal from Morris, and McDonough makes a pad save. Godowski shovels it into the Rhino zone. Furious action on both ends of the ice, but we're still tied at 2, 5 minutes into the third period. Players converge on the far half wall of the Wranglers zone. 3 Wranglers, 2 Rhinos. Now I'll make that 3 Rhinos. As LaBelle was looking to join the fray, but the puck is jammed free. And now down the left wing is Godowski. They'll drive towards the goal. Godowski goes around the nets. Defending him is Strickland, and he does a nice job of it as the Rhinos get the puck. And out to center, TJ Ritchie. He'll pump it back in. Miller, fresh off the bench, banks it off the wall for Day. Tries to knife his way towards the net, but the Rhinos get a body in front of him. And now they'll move back up ice. 2-on-2 here as LaBelle drops it off for Ginger. And on the back check, Jacob Miller makes a great play. Now the Wranglers go the other way. Day centering, looking for Miller. Make that McRoberts. And Rhinos Lindsay's able to get in front of it. Now El Paso on the rush the other way. Takes a shot from the right side. And McDonough eats that one up and covers with 14:03 to go in the third period. Now we saw that game kind of blow wide open with the 4-on-4 chances. And now ever since, it's just been One rush that way, one rush the other way. Both teams trading chances, but still tied up at 2. A little under 6 minutes into the third period. Momentum not really swinging one way or the other. As the puck goes all the way back down to the Rhinos zone. No icing. Tim Mathis will bolt his way up to the neutral zone. Duke on the right wing wall. Drops it down low for Cameron. Defending him is Gerhard. Almost gets a steal. Centering pass goes to Lindsay at the right circle. To the middle. Shot there from Triggs goes wide. He was all alone between the circles. Had to make a quick shot. It was off the mark. Now the Rhinos back out at center ice. Luke Lindsay will look to go around Connor McNaughton, who's out there on the forecheck. Lindsay represented the Rhinos at top prospects, 1 of 3. Both teams had 3 representatives. As the Rhinos dump it in, it's going to be an icing on El Paso with 13:18 to go in the third. Lindsay had 1 goal in the second game. The South team's big win over Team Selects Gold. Rhinos' 3 representatives were Lindsay, Tefelsky, and Bolduc. Wranglers sent Kyle DeMarco, Topi Pukkanen, and Roman Zapp. Pukkanen and Zapp both had a goal at top prospects. As Manzi will leave it for Lindsay. Couple quick passes. Now the Rhinos are on their way to the red line, and Triggs will flutter it in and head towards the bench. Wranglers try and push the narrative back out towards the neutral zone. McDonald spinning away from the forecheck. Looks to exit his own zone. Feathers it backwards for Kruklides. Gets it to the neutral zone for Ben Ivey, and he hits Jack Ivey in stride. From the blue line, tries to take a shot. It's blocked. And the puck will carry him back out to center, where it goes safely into the grasp of TJ Ritchie. He'll wind it around towards the far corner for Morris. The former Rhino gets it up to the right point for Semyuk. Tries to rebound it back to Morris, but it's out of his reach, and the Rhinos are able to swing it back out to the neutral zone. 12:15 to go in the third period. We're still tied up at 2. It's been a while since the Wranglers had an overtime game. It seems like we had a flurry of those to begin the year. We're not there yet as Lund drops a pass back up to the blue line. Hiltonen loses it as he tried to take a shot. Lurking in the area was Godowski. Rhinos will have to restart from their own zone. As moving up ice is Strickland. Bolduc across at the line, shot by Hooley. Goes up and over the net. Held in by Hiltonen. Wind it down low. Rhinos. Lund has it, feathers it below the goal line for Bolduc. They'll push it towards the middle, and the pass is picked off by Morris. And from center, the Rhinos just hack it in. They'll get a partial change. Troutwine will pick it up behind McDonough. Start the next breakout for the Wranglers. As Trey Stay gets a stick on it in the neutral zone, he'll chase after it. Wranglers get 4 fresh bodies on as Day is still out on the forecheck. They try and hem the Rhinos in at their own blue line, but El Paso successful in dumping the puck into the Wranglers zone. It's Kruklides sparring with a Rhino on the near side half wall. Sees a man join him in Budic, and the Wranglers are able to possess the puck and subsequently ice it. With 10:51 to go in the third period, draw is going to go back into the Wranglers zone. Rhinos with a chance to get fresh bodies on. Oh, wait a minute. We have a timeout from Ryan Anderson, so good call there from coach, realizing that his boys are a little bit tired off of that extended shift. With the icing impending, he wouldn't have been able to get a change. Takes his timeout, lets his guys get a breather, maybe drop a play in the process. I like that call there from Coach Anderson. Let those guys breathe a little bit. We're approaching the midway point of the third period in a 2-2 game. You don't want your guys to get too gassed. So they'll take a breath, get a sip of water. Ryan's going to drop a play there on the bench. Rhinos head coach Joe Coombs, he's having a heck of a year behind the bench in his second year with the Rhinos. Last year, 18-38, 3 and 1, 40 points on the year. This year, much different story. And they're very happy in Rhino country with his performance this year. 28-11, 2 and 2 to this point. Third place in the South Division, well on pace to make the Robertson Cup playoffs. You got to think that Coombs and Anderson, probably two coaches in the running for Coach of the Year when all is said and done. Tip your cap to both guys. Done a very good job behind the bench for the respective clubs, and because of that, they were both behind the bench together at Top Prospects, both coaching the NAHL Selects Gold team. Coombs the head coach, Anderson the assistant. So they were friends over in Pittsburgh at Top Prospects, enemies here behind the bench. In the third straight game between these two clubs. Rhinos win the draw to the middle. Reed fires a shot wide of the mark, not by much. Goes off the end wall. Wranglers help it back out the center. And Amarillo will possess as DeMarco with his head up. Goes D-to-D for Kuklitis. Hacks it off the near side wall and into the Rhinos zone. With 10:28 to go in the third period. Tim Mathis, who scored in the first meeting between these two clubs. He was drafted in last summer's drafts. Moves it out to the neutral zone. Delayed offside here. Wranglers touch up. So we get a whistle with 10:15 to go in the third period. Shot count is 25-19 in favor of the Wranglers. We've done a good job in putting shots on goal in the previous two meetings in this set of four straight between the Wranglers and the Rhinos. It was El Paso out shooting the Wranglers in both of those meetings over El Paso County Event Center. Not the case so far here tonight, as the Rhinos fling it towards McDonough from the neutral zone. Get a paw on it. Stop time with 10:10 to go in the third. Wranglers leading the shot count here in the third period. 4 shots to El Paso's 3. And what has been a pretty evenly played third period. Rhinos centering pass off the draw. McDonough, big save there on Tefelsky to keep it tied at 2. Quick play off the draw. Rhinos, Tefelsky between the circles, and McDonough. One big save after another. Mark that one down. The Wranglers end up winning this game. It's a critical moment in this one. But the Rhinos break out the other way. 2-on-1. Lund couldn't handle the pass. Wranglers escape any more danger as they press Lund up against the far side wall. They'll try and center it. Goes up into the air. Fluttering puck is settled down by Zarski to the middle, looking for Lund. McDonough kicks the puck out of danger. Pellerin from the left side takes a shot, and it goes off a skate and out of play. Oh, my goodness. Connor McDonough, how do you do it? He's a wizard. Magic from number 1 in net keeps it a 2-2 game. 9:28 to go in the third period. We'll find out how this one ends when we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Two all here from downtown Amarillo with 9:28 to go in the third period. Seems like so far this season the Wranglers have really had their way in these tight games. As the Wranglers, in games that are decided by 1 or 2 goals, have a record of 18-6-5-2. We'll see if they can pull another one out of their hats here. The victory here on home ice against a pesky Rhinos team. El Paso looking to get to work offensively in the Wranglers zone. Hackett below the goal line. The bell to a man open. Shot his fans on. And And the Wranglers look to pounce on the puck, look to get it back into their grasp as play trickles towards the near corner. Puck will find its way to the open arms of McDonough. He will pinch it and hold it with 9:02 to go in the third period. And he's been sharp here tonight. McDonough stopping 20 of 22 so far. In a game that featured a scoreless first period, 4 goals combined in the second period, and to this point, scoreless third period. So go figure. Both goaltenders having a pretty solid night here so far. Michael Manzi stopping 23 of 25. Draw to the left of McDonough, near circle of the Wranglers zone. It's going to be Walker against McNaughton at the dot. Connor McNaughton has done a pretty good job in the face-off circle so far for the Wranglers this season. He's having a career year. 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points. Best his mark from last year, as he's having a stellar sophomore campaign. As down the right wing is Grayson Gerhard. Burrows his way into the attacking zone, looking for a trailer as he got muscled off the puck. Wranglers back on the far side wall, look to get it back. Schepler looks to help it along to his D-man and Mathis. Wranglers get a poke on it as Troutwine pinched down low. But the Rhinos are able to possess an open space as Lindsay gets it back out to the neutral zone. Dumping attempt goes off a body into the grasp of Gagnon. He'll go coast to coast looking for Pukin. Pass was behind him, but Topi gets a stick on puck and will pelt it into the El Paso zone. Rhinos exit their own zone and enter Wrangler territory as Lund shiftily tries to move towards the net. Goes below the left circle. Defending him nicely was TJ Ritchie. Throws a hit in the corner. Lund gets it back below the goal line. Tries to flip it up to Zarski. He'll paddle it down low. McDonough comes out to play the puck dangerously. Bolduc was lurking. It looks like McDonough is able to escape any danger as the puck goes into a scrum in the near corner. Under 8 minutes to go in the third period, 2-2 game. Don't want to make a mistake as Lund below the goal line. Bounces to the outside. Backhands it to the near corner. Bolduc swings it around to the left side for Pellerine. Looks to return it to Bolduc and gets bodied off the puck by McRoberts. Bolduc just now getting up. That's a big hit by Henry, and he charges up ice. The Michigan man darts towards his left on his backhand. Shovels it towards the middle, and it goes off the side of the net. But stays onto the grasp of the Wranglers as Kruklidis has it at the left point. Fakes a shot and works it down low for McDonald. Pops out on the far half wall. Rhinos steal it and charge up ice as Triggs flutters it into the attacking zone. McDonough gets a paddle on it. Comes to Kruklidis, who fans on the clearing attempt. And now goes into a cluster of bodies in front of the Wranglers bench. McDonald comes free with it. 6:56 to go in the third. Jack McDonald clinks it into the attacking zone. Wranglers look to get to work. As Gerhard sees the puck go corner to corner. Pukin bodies a man off the puck. He's always strong on the puck, and a big play there to keep it in the Wranglers' grasp as he twists it below the goal line for Paavo Hiltunen, his fellow countryman, both from Finland, out there on this shift. As play goes towards the far wall, Gagnon pinching, trying to keep it in, but a good play there from Triggs. Get it back out to the neutral zone. Rhinos get a man on and a man off. And now Ginger, the former Wrangler, moves it out to the neutral zone into Wrangler territory all alone as the men behind him are getting a change. Rhinos, LaBelle steals to the middle. Shot there, goes off a stick and wide of the net. And McDonough is able to scarf up the rebounds. He'll chew on it and hold it with 6:06 to go in the third. That was a big defensive stick there. I believe it was Troutwine who got into position to get stick on puck and send that puck away from McDonough on a shot that looked like it had a really good chance of going into the back of the net. Good defensive play there. Dromley will be on the near circle of the Wranglers zone. El Paso wins it quickly up to the line. Settled down, Mathis has it. Left point shot, deflection out in front, goes up and over and hits the end glass. Semeniuk will paddle it to Godowski. Brushes off a man, finds Abrant streaking forward. Tries to return it to the middle. Morris is there. Puck bounces out like a ping pong ball. It's held in at the line. DeMarco fires it towards the net. Onto the tape of Lindsay. Rhinos move up ice. Ginger leaves it for LaBelle. Bounces to the outside. Goes around the net. Loses an edge below the goal line. Abrant has it on the near wall. Finds Morris moving upwards. Wranglers to go to work offensively. But first, a change as Morris will chip it into Rhino territory. Rhinos electing to get a change as well as they dump it into the Wranglers zone. McRoberts will field it in the far corner of his own zone. Reed pressuring him, as is Walker. Ben Ivy also in the area to help out. TJ Ritchie pins a man up against the wall. Rhinos pump it free. The Wranglers with an extra hack at it, get it back out to center ice. No icing as the Rhinos dump it in from the other side of the red line. Lund gets to work down the left wing. Banks it off the side of the net. McDonough might have gotten a blocker on it. Back to Torrey Lund. Looks to go between the circles, and the Wranglers steal the puck away. Is down the left wing. Ben Ivy goes across from Rick Roberts. Has McDonald moving forward. Takes a shot, save made. Rebound between the circles. And the Rhinos escape any more danger. As now here comes Bolduc. Streaking towards the middle. He gets bumped off the puck. Make that Pellerine. 18, not 19. And the Wranglers possess the puck below their own goal line. Action opening up here in the final 5 minutes of the third period. McDonald to the left wing for Gerhard. He's able to stash it around to the far corner as Pukkanen was streaking in. Here's Topi Pukkanen cutting towards the middle to the left side. Shot from Troutwine is blocked out in front, and the Rhinos are able to pitch it back out to center. And now here comes Cameron all alone as his line mates were changing, looking for a trailer. Triggs was coming on off the bench. Gerhard nicely steps in. Weasels the puck back out to center. Rhinos dump it in. 3:48 to go in the third. You have a convergence in the near corner of the Wranglers zone. Puck pinned up against the end wall. Troutwine is there battling with Cameron. Cameron, the former Fairbanks Ice Dog. Trying to free the puck for the Rhinos. The Rhinos must really like those Alaskan players, at least those ones from Alaskan teams. It seems like a lot of the players they acquired via trade came from one of the three Alaskan clubs. His play moves back out to the Rhino zone. They look to regroup and reload, but pass goes astray off the skate of LaBelle deep into Wrangler territory. Wranglers will possess with 3 minutes to go in the third. Morris bolts up ice, loses an edge, and the Rhinos will step in, get the puck, and move into the Wranglers zone. Puck is directed down deep. Kyle DeMarco, the longest tenured Wrangler, gets there first. Is the only member of the inaugural squad remaining on the roster. His puck up against the end wall. DeMarco, tall and steady, is able to win that battle and sky it back out to the neutral zone. Takes a couple hops, as Zarski will field it in his own zone. Clearing attempt goes Brog, as it's held in by Godowski. Luckily for Zarski, a man got back to make the play. It was Shepler, and now the Rhinos will have a chance offensively as Lund centers it for Cameron. Make that Triggs as he takes a dive in the corner. No, that's Stefelski. The 11s, the ones look kind of like 7s, the font on the Rhinos jersey, as Ben Ivy gets back out to center. Now here he goes, Ben Ivy down the left wing. He's able to escape a check from Zarski and paddle it into the attacking zone. 1:57 to go in the third period. Rhinos toss it into the Wranglers zone, and the Wranglers say, yeah, we can play that game too. They'll send it into the Rhinos zone, but this is an icing on Amarillo with 1:50 to go in the third. And that's a tough break for the Wranglers. You can't get a change there. First line is gassed right now. Rhinos able to get fresh blood on. Ryan Anderson has already used his timeout. And so the draw will be on the near circle of the Wranglers zone. We'll see if this score holds. We're 1:50 away from overtime. Wranglers, with as many overtime games as they've played, 12 to be exact, they haven't played one in 10 games. Longest stretch of the season. Last time they did it, January 7th in Colorado when they lost in the shootout. Wranglers on the attack. McDonald finds a man at the point in McNaughton. Drops it back towards the far corner for McDonald. He'll pitch it around to the left point. Troutwine just to flutter it towards the goal. Popped up into the air. It's batted to the neutral zone by Ginger. Wranglers forced to regroup. Get a partial change as the Rhinos will move out of their own zone. 1:12 to go in the third period. Exciting game here at the bullpen. We We might be headed to extra time as McNaughton finds Pukin in the neutral zone. His pass off the wall for Gerhard. He'll rush in, get to the puck as he battles Mathis away from the puck. Pukin has it in the near corner. Exchanges with Gerhard. We're under a minute to go in the third. High drama here in the bullpen as Pukin comes away with the puck. Gets it to the line. Troutwine across for DeMarco. And it goes off his stick and into the bench. Make that Gagnon, not Troutwine. Time stops with 41.5 seconds to go in the third. And this draw is going to be right in front of the Rhinos bench, so neutral zone draw, 41.5 seconds to go. You have to think this is a big face-off here. Wranglers sending out their best man, Luke Morris, who's been excellent in the face-off dot. He wins it. Gets it to Abraham. Shuffles his way down the right wing. Morris gets up to Gagnon. Looks to go D to D. Shot from Troutwine goes between the circles. It's loose at the left circle. Rhinos sweep it away. His play goes behind the net. Abraham gets pinned up. Morris steps in. Puck goes off his skate. He's trickling towards the blue paint, but the Rhinos are able to get it out of danger. It's from the near corner. Zarski battling with Morris. And the Rhinos are able to lift it down the length of the ice. That's going to be an icing on El Paso with 6 seconds on the board and 7/10 of a second of change. So you got to think a set play here is coming for the Wranglers. Of course, they send out the big guns, Ben Ivey, Jack Ivey, Nolan Gagnon, Jack McDonald, Nick Troutwine, your 5 Wranglers on the ice right now. We're separated by just 6.7 seconds from now, potential overtime. And I believe Joe Coombs has taken his timeout. Rhinos want to talk this thing over. What a game we've had so far. Started with a scoreless first period. Things blew wide open in the second. Wranglers scored first. Grayson Gerhard, 54 seconds into the contest, makes it 1-0. Rhinos responded with the goal about midway through the second from Eddie Shepler to make it 1-1. And then Jacob Miller responds about a minute and a half later to make it 2-1 as he gets his 3rd goal of the year. But then the Rhinos quickly, a minute and 5 seconds afterward, bounce back and make it 2-2 with a goal from Paavo Hiltonen. And that's the story so far. Scoreless third period, but a lot of excitement. Both teams trading big scoring chances, and I think you have to bring your attention back to that massive save that Connor McDonough had here in the third period. He's had a few of them. He stood tall. Fantastic as always. You can't take him for granted. Giving the Wranglers the chance to win night in and night out. 7th straight start. Kept it a 2-2 game when the Rhinos were knocking on the door, and now the Wranglers with 6 seconds to go in the third. We'll drop a set play here. Jack Ivey, the face-off taker. He wins it. Gagnon fires off the draw, and Manzi is able to reel it in with a glove save with 4.6 on the clock. Shot count is 27-23 in favor of the Wranglers. As eager eyes watch on from both benches. Jack Ivey off the draw again, wins it. Can't fling it towards the net. Play goes below the goal line and squeaked out to the blue paint right at the horn, but not enough time on the clock as we're headed to 3-on-3 overtime. It's been a fun night, and we're not done yet. Free hockey coming up next from the Budweiser Bull Pen. It's the Wranglers 2 and the Rhinos 2. We'll be back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Doesn't get any better than this. Two top teams in the South Division, all tied up at 2. 5-minute overtime period, 3-on-3 if a penalty is taken. You add an extra man for the power play. Otherwise, 5 minutes to win it. Golden goal situation. And if that isn't enough, we head to a shootout. The Wranglers have been pretty good in overtime games, especially playing in their fair share of them. This is overtime game number 13 on the year for Amarillo. To this point, they're 7-5 in overtime, and it's worth mentioning at this point, if they do get to the shootout, they're 3-2 in those scenarios. And it's been a good bounce-back game for Ryan Anderson's Wranglers after getting shut out in enemy territory on Saturday. Much better game here from the Wranglers. You gotta like we can see, they're able to get a point out of it, 56 on the season. El Paso now up to 61 points on the campaign. And we'll see what the personnel looks like for the Wranglers, as it usually is one of two things. You usually see Gagnon and the Ivy twins out there to open overtime, the trusted bunch. Or usually throw 3 other guys out there, throw a fake, and hopefully win the draw. And then the Wranglers will quickly get a change and send the aforementioned 3 out there. So looks like to begin overtime, it's going to be Gagnon, McNaughton, and Pukinen. And for the Rhinos, we're going to send out Lund, Hiltonen, and Tafelski. What more can you ask for? Free hockey as McNaughton wins the opening draw. It'll be picked up by Gagnon, and he will quickly work his way to the comfort of behind his own net. 2 other men stay out there. As Gagnon looked to emerge, didn't see an avenue that he liked, and so I'll leave it for McNaughton, who swings out down the right wing. He'll bank it off the wall. Streaking ahead is Pukinen. I'll take a tap at it, goes below the goal line, picked up by Tafelski. Look to go to Hiltonen. On the near wall, Pukinen gets there. The 2 Finns battle for it at the half wall. Puck jars free to McNaughton. Tafelski tries to free it from his grasp, but the Wranglers get it back. His right point, Gagnon flutters it towards the goal, looking for a tap-in goal from McNaughton. They just couldn't connect. Now puck moves back out to center. Wranglers get caught up behind the play. Lone man back is Jack Ivy as Lund streaks in. Fires! Big save by McDonough to deny Torrey Lund in overtime. And we play on as Gagnon moves up ice, and he'll peel back at the red line. Ivy twins out there with him. Now Gagnon goes to the bench. DeMarco steps on. Is Ben Ivy. Drop pass. No looker. Goes onto the tape of Walker, and he will force it back into the Wranglers zone with 3:39 to go in overtime. Now Kyle DeMarco exits the Wranglers zone. Enters Rhino territory. Meanders his way below the goal line. He'll backhand it to the far wall for Ben Ivy. Now below the circle. Twist towards his forehand. Ben to the line. DeMarco, a bomb! And it's reeled in by Manzi as he makes the glove save. He'll keep play moving. A little over 3 minutes to go in OT. Down the left wing. Zarski cuts in towards the middle, leaves it for Shepler. He loses it. Jack Ivy with the steal, and now that springs McDonald into attacking territory. He'll try and go back, and getting in the way is Zarski. Wranglers turn the puck over. As the newly acquired defenseman for the Rhinos drops it down deep. McDonough plays it, leaves it for McDonald. Shadowing him is Bolduc. Bolduc cuts towards the middle, has a trailer, and Pellerin backhand shot wide of the net. Rebound chance by Bolduc, goes off the side of the net. Now a second try. McDonough the save off of the deflection, and he holds and covers with 2:32 to go in overtime. Both teams trading chances here in OT. But we're not done yet. McDonough with a couple of marvelous saves here in the extra session. Keeps it a 2-2 game. Bolduc was lurking. Had a really good save to open the 5-minute session. As draws one by the Rhinos. Out the center it goes. Pukinen with the steal. Wranglers will possess in the bottom half of overtime. Gagnon knifes his way to the middle. Finds Pukinen. In, shoots, scores! Topi Pukkanen wins it for the Wranglers in overtime. And you can tell your ma, you can tell your pa, the Amarillo Wranglers are back, Jack. They win it 3-2 in overtime. Topi Pukkanen and the Wranglers get the last laugh as Pukkanen's 19th goal of the year is the game winner. Wranglers come away victorious on home ice and pick up a pivotal 2 points in the South Division race. Wranglers will salute their faithful crowd at center ice. Oh man, what a game. The Wranglers needed a dash of everything here in this game to get the victory. Timely saves from Connor McDonough. Efforts from their role players getting on the board. And now one of the big guns gets it done in overtime. Topi Pukkanen scores to win it for the Wranglers 3-2 over the Rhinos. Wranglers post-game show starts now. And that's exactly the kind of game you need to get your season back on track. Looked like the Wranglers lost their way. One win in their last 5 games. Shut out in their last affair against these very Rhinos last Saturday, 3-0 at El Paso County Events Center. You needed something like this. It's a quote that's been used many times by Ryan Anderson this season, where it's kind of like having a good soup, to paraphrase. Just need a dash of everything. You have to have the right ingredients. You have to put it all together in order to win. Well, here tonight, Wranglers had a good mix. Depth scoring, timely saves from McDonough. Penalty kill was excellent. We're able to shut down the Rhinos' top guns. All around, fantastic effort for the Wranglers. And they are the victors here tonight. To the victors go the spoils, as 2 points for the Wranglers. Rhinos do squeak out a point here with the overtime loss, but looking back on it for the Wranglers, these 2 points could be pivotal in the South Division race. New Mexico idle here this weekend. Wranglers now jump out to 5 points ahead of New Mexico in the gap between the 4th and 5th spots in the South Division. And now the Wranglers are within 4 points of the Rhinos. El Paso with 61, Amarillo with 57. If you get closer and closer to the Robertson Cup playoffs, Wranglers improve to 25, 14, 5, and 2. Rhinos fall to 28, 11, 3, and 2. So let's recap. Great game here at the bullpen. No scoring in the first period. Roll to the second period, saying something's got to give. Well, what we got was a combined 4 goals in period 2, 2 on both sides. It was Grayson Gerhardt getting his 2nd goal of the season. 54 seconds into the 2nd frame, Ben Ivey with the primary assist. Good play from Ben to find Gerhardt streaking in. And he pushes it home for the 1-0 score. Midway through the second period, 9-12 to be exact, Eddie Shepler gets his 2nd goal in as many games from Mathis and Reed to make it a 1-1 game. Wranglers rallied back with a goal about a minute and a half later. This time from the stick of Jacob Miller, Trace Day, and TJ Ritchie with the assists. Great play there from that squad. Trace Day doing a good job of realizing what was developing out in front of him. Wranglers get a break the other way. Day finds Miller moving in. He puts it between the wickets of Manzi for the 2-1 score. Looked like the Wranglers were off and running, but the Rhinos had other ideas. They tie the game up at 2 with 6:43 to go in the second period. 1:05 after the Miller goal. This time it's Pavo Hiltonen scoring for El Paso. Fired a shot center point through traffic. Doesn't look like McDonough saw it. Goes in the back of the net from Walker and Reed. Make it a 2-2 game. No scoring here in the third, although looks like both teams trading really good chances. Didn't seem like any team really had the momentum swing in their favor in the third period. Just looked like really good back and forth hockey. Both teams trading chances. Both goaltenders making timely saves to keep their team in it. So that sends us to 5-on-5 overtime. It seems like we've said that a lot this season. Wranglers have played a ton of overtime games, and in most of them they're had their way. Wranglers, Topi Pukkanen from Nolan Gagnon scores 2:46 into overtime to give the Wranglers 3-2 victory. For Pukkanen, it's his 19th goal of the season. Well-balanced player, strong on the puck, gets the overtime winner. Fired it from the right wing, beats Manzi. Wranglers victorious. And so there's your soup. Wranglers get all the ingredients they need. It ends up being chef's kiss as the Wranglers win 3-2 on home ice. An exhilarating game. It's nice knowing that get to do it all again tomorrow. As these two teams will face off for the final game of 4 straight. Second in as many days, right here at the Budweiser Bull Pen. We'll have it all for you here on NATV and YouTube, Wranglers Hockey Network. 7 o'clock pregame show, 7:15 puck drop. Wranglers now lead the season series with a record of 3-2 against El Paso. 3 more matchups remaining on the season between these two clubs. All of them here in this building. 1 more tomorrow, and then 2 on the second to last weekend of the regular season. Connor McDonough stops 23 of 25 in the victory. Michael Manzi had a pretty good night, although he does pick up the loss. He stops 26 of 29, as he at least helps his team get a point. He's pretty good net for El Paso. And so we'll see what tomorrow holds. Wranglers victorious here. Let's take a look and see what unfolded out in the rest of the South Division here tonight. Talk a little playoff scenarios, at least playoff movement. And then we'll split and we'll send you on your way. So, looks like in the South Division, we had the Brahmas and the Jackalopes going head-to-head here tonight. Jack's looking to pull off the upset. Well, they might just do it. They're tied at 2 apiece. 6:14 to go in the third period. Odessa getting goals from Kadlasik and Morgan. Lone Star, goals from Zadvernyuk and McDonald. So that's one to watch. Jackalopes trying to push their way back into the playoff picture. Over at Greeley Icehouse, Warriors and Grit doing battle. Top of the third period there, Oklahoma with a healthy 4-1 lead over the newest team in the South Division. They get goals from Sutton, Chesler, and Caffarelli, as well as Carter Sproul, as they have a 3-goal lead over the Grit. And then lastly, we'll go to the pond. Shreveport Mudbugs. Oh, look away, Ice Ray fans. 10-1. Can you believe it? The Shreveport Mudbugs open up a can on the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. They win by 9. And so the Mudbugs continue to surge up the South Division standings. They now have won 9 games in a row. They have 66 points on the season. El Paso now with 61. Wranglers right behind them with 57. I think a Wrangler victory in regulation pulls them within 2 of El Paso. If they can win tomorrow night. Well, that was a good game. All right, the post-game story. Catch that on AmarilloWranglers.com. We'll sleep on it, and we'll meet back here tomorrow, same time we started. 7 o'clock pregame show, 7:15 puck drop. Nothing beats Wranglers hockey. Always exciting, never a dull moment. And tonight, they get the last laugh. Your final score, the Wranglers 3, the Rhinos 2. Wranglers win in overtime off for Topi Pukkanen's 19th goal of the season. It's the game winner. Wranglers head home happy. That's going to do it for us here from the Budweiser Bull Pen. Almost said El Paso County Event Center, which is where we were last week. That's going to do it for us here at the Budweiser Bull Pen. Wranglers win 3-2 in overtime. Wish you all a good night. We'll see you back here again tomorrow on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. I'm Chiarenza saying good evening and so long from downtown